Hello, everybody. How's it going? Missed you guys last week. I was on vacation in San Diego, getting some beach time. Caught up on some sleep, got some salty food. Undersides of my eyes are all swollen. It's all good. Hope you guys are doing well. You guys are ready for some Oblivion. Let's get this started, huh? Yeah, I've been busy at work and then just away on vacation and stuff for a while, so I haven't really been looking at too much gaming news or even a whole lot of like mods and everything on Nexus, so I don't really have a whole lot or anything at all to talk about as far as that goes. It's your stream and you can stream when you want. Hell yeah. Let's see, who do we got? We got Magus in there. Magus, a whale's vagina? Not yes. Spanish for a whale's vagina. If you know, you know. Let's see, we got Magus came in early, started harassing me to finish pooping, which of course is only going to make me take longer on the toilet. So thanks for that. Ghost57, welcome, welcome. Who else we got? Haster is in the chat, spouting his Dovazul. Greetings. Someone made a Dark Crusader armor set from Lords of the Fallen. Oh yeah, I saw that. It looks very much like the older Dark Crusader set. Just a little bit more refined. Got the reference good. Yes. Ron Burgundy for the win. God, it's been so long since I've seen that movie. Yep, let's go. So, yeah, talking about Oblivion, I know a lot of us have been playing. I've been all in on this playthrough so far. I've been kind of giving Skyrim a little bit of a break to do Oblivion just because it's captured me so hard. Two things. I've had to kind of redo this build a little bit. I took a generic, default warrior class from my first sort of mini playthrough that I just kind of gave up on. I wanted to see how the rebalances worked for the default out of the box builds, the default out of the box classes, and the early game on Adept, it does kind of give you a little more leniency with your build. But after about level 15 or 20, it just becomes old Oblivion all over again. And if you spread your offensive skills too wide and, try to put too many points and things into different offensive skills, you're going to start becoming underpowered very quickly at around level 15, at around level 20. So because the warrior by default has the blade, blunt, and unarmed, skills that you are trying to level up the whole time with that class, you end up, your offensive output ends up just becoming completely underpowered. You end up, blocking and repairing your armor more and more and more. And if you don't bring like 30 repair hammers into an Oblivion gate at around level 20 or so, you're going to end up with busted equipment and you're not going to be able to get all the way through it. Even on Adept, don't even, try Expert. Yeah, Magus has been playing Oblivion also. Nice. That guy barely ever comes out of the Skyrim pool for a breath. 12 hours, 6 Skyrim, 6 Oblivion. Hey, that's awesome. So obviously, sounds like you're enjoying it. The longer one sits on the toilet can actually cause damage to the body. That's true. And I try not to spend too much. I don't bring my Nintendo Switch or my PlayStation Vita to the bathroom anymore because of that. Deep vein thrombosis can cause trouble. I've never had a problem with it, but yeah, don't spend too much time on the toilet, folks. It's not a joke. It sounds like a joke, but it's not a joke. Hamad, welcome, buddy. Hope you're doing well. All right, so the new build. How did I restructure this? Well, let's take a look at our skills, shall we? So the major skills, I took a custom class this time, and I picked one offensive ability this time that helps keep me from over leveling multiple offensive skills, which scales general enemy level up too high, and then all of a sudden you're not doing enough damage output to keep up with your higher level enemies. So I went with blunt instead of blade. In my experience, it just kind of scales a little better with strength, but I just like an axe. I don't know, it was maybe something to do with the beard. It's just in my blood. I like axes, can't help it. So yeah, I went with blunt. And then to supplement that on defense, I have heavy armor and block. That's pretty much all you need for a warrior on defense. And then armor is an absolutely essential skill to have. You can keep this in minor skills, but you really want to level this up as fast as possible. So that's why I put it in the major skills, because once you get to master, your repair hammers will never break, so you never have to stock up on repair hammers. You're always able to repair your gear at any time, at any place. So armor at level 100 is kind of a top priority, honestly, for this build. Get that up as high as possible, as soon as possible. So these four are really my core skills here: armor, block, blunt, and heavy armor. The rest that I supplemented with are either to enable more warrior type stuff that you want to do in the midst of gameplay, or kind of add to the top end damage to things. So I picked alchemy. That's kind of a no-brainer, catch-all equalizer skill for anybody. The reason why I put this in major skills instead of keeping it in minor skills is, yes, it does level much faster in the major skills, so it's going to contribute more to your level, but this can also contribute to your top end damage output if you're, doing fortify strength, fortify blunt, or creating poisons with it. But it's also very easy to control when you level this skill up, and therefore very easy to control when you level up as a character overall. So alchemy is great for that. So is alteration. You can just cast it on yourself whenever you need a quick level up. Just cast, shield spell, a low level shield spell on yourself over and over and over again to level this up, and then you can scale it up. This also helps early and mid game before you get to the armor cap of 85, which once you get Daedric armor at level 20 or so, that shouldn't be a problem. But moving up to that point, this does help a lot. Other than that, alteration doesn't really do a whole lot other than, just regular magical resistances if you're enchanting your armor or whatever. I'm not going to make a whole lot of use of this in my just regular gameplay, but it again, I put it in there because it does help with survivability early on, especially if you're playing on expert, which this custom build does actually enable you to play on expert if you're doing it right. Restoration is also another main skill that I'm using a lot of, mainly for there's a couple spells that I cast at the beginning of combat, just a little bit of fatigue and health restoration over time that I cast going in, so that I just get a little bit more passive recovery on some things as I'm fighting. But also a fortify strength spell at the very beginning of combat will help enable my block bash. Because block bash in this game is a new, well, it's not even block bash, it's just shield bash. They took this from Skyrim, put it into Oblivion, and it's a fantastic addition in my opinion, because block bashing is one of my favorite things to do as a warrior. In Skyrim, it's a very quick attack. It's like the quickest attack in the game, and it causes stagger and really opens you up for a lot more offense. Regardless of what you're wielding a warhammer that swings really super slow, you can still equip a block bash with that, use it to get a stagger, and then just unleash hell on your enemy that way. So this was a great addition to this game. The thing is with block bash is every other offensive skill in the game, it will scale with strength, with your strength level, which you'll get to 100 really quickly in your leveling progression here. But things like blunt and blade and unarmed, they all will stop taking strength scaling into the damage at strength level 100. So strength basically stops scaling your offensive skills at level 100, except for this new shield bash here. So I'm gonna be doing things with I got a potion here from my alchemy skill that fortifies strength, and I have a battle surge custom spell that I've created that also fortifies strength. So if I cast this spell and drink one of these potions, now I am at where are we at here? I am at 193 strength, so that is going to be giving me a huge amount of damage on the block bash here. I have also equipped my mace here, my Daedric mace. I really want to find an axe. I really don't like the maces. They just swing too slow. The axes are quick enough, and they look cool. But I have an absorb strength on strike and absorb fatigue on strike, so that I'm both contributing, recovering fatigue, but also I'm going to be buffing up my strength each time I hit with a mace, and debuffing their strength when I hit with a mace, which also powers up this shield bash. So as I'm going, I'm whacking enemies with the mace, which empowers my bash, and I'm just bashing the hell out of these enemies. 965 carry weight. Yeah, so that's the other thing that strength does, is it acts as almost like a feather spell, because it scales so much with your carry weight that if you're over encumbered, all you have to do is cast this battle surge spell that strengthens strengthens up your carry weight, and you're good to go. So that is kind of an expensive enchantment. So I do also have the custom enchantment on Frostcleave here, which is a Daedric battle axe. Does a lot of damage on its own, but I'm using stacking weaknesses to magic and frost on this one. So we only get 18 uses of this, but it does trap souls. So I'm using this as my sort of soul harvester. I'm doing 10 points of damage on strike, which doesn't sound like a lot, but then it stacks multiplicatively multiple times with the weakness to frost effect and the weakness to magic effect. So we end up getting like a 400% weakness to frost on the enemies that we're hitting with this. So we're just whacking the hell out of the enemies with the frost cleave. If it's a non-human enemy, that is going to fill a soul on Azura's Star here. So I'm constantly filling Azura's Star, and I'm using that to fuel my sapping mace for the strength and the bash, and the frost cleave for magic damage when I need it, and soul trapping as I need more souls to fuel these weapons. So that's how buildcraft works in this game, and I do want to do a build for this, a custom warrior class build guide for my channel on this. I was kind of hesitant to do builds for Oblivion because my experience with Oblivion was that the kind of like warrior build or thief build, it was kind of hard to have a build because the perk system is, you don't choose perks, so a lot of that customizability is gone. A lot of the customizability that you get in Skyrim, say, where you get to pick all your different perks, even vanilla Skyrim, lends itself to build guides more because of the customizability in how you choose to build out the gameplay of your character. Is you have so much manual control over how you're building your character that way. In Oblivion, you don't. So it all comes down to spellcrafting and enchanting, which is how you customize your build. Everything else is just completely automatically unlocked with what skills that you use, and there are only so many permutations of skills that you get to take, and the perks that you get from those. But I got to thinking about it. I was watching other channels' Oblivion builds, and a lot of them are actually focused around enchanting and spellcrafting. And the way that spellcrafting and enchanting work in this game is more like minor powers in Skyrim, so it kind of doesn't feel like you're playing a mage character. even though you're using a lot of enchanted items and you're using a lot of spells, you can rename your spells to things like Battle Surge and Tactical Recovery, and then you can use them as powers with a warrior class. And there's a lot of customizability in the enchanting and spell crafting in this game. So that's where your custom builds, that's where your build guides are. So that's where you kind of want to focus when you're doing a build guide, and that's where a lot of other channels are focusing too, and I can make that work. So yeah, you might argue that this is more of like a paladin class than it is like a pure warrior, but it's almost impossible to play a pure warrior in this game on adept difficulty level up into the level 20, level 30, right? So that's where I'm at with this. In Oblivion, you can't really have a pure warrior. You gotta put some magic into it, but you also do have the freedom to rename these spells to things that are more warrior-centric. So yeah, while the gameplay is kind of maybe more paladin, but this is really the only way to get the warrior to work. Now, this is brain dead easy on adept, right? So I have actually been playing on expert difficulty, which is actually harder than legendary difficulty on Skyrim. Enemies are doing something like 3.6 times damage to you, and you are doing 0.26 damage output, which I believe in Skyrim you're doing on legendary difficulty 0.25% damage output, so you're doing slightly more damage than you are in legendary difficulty in Skyrim. But you're also taking a lot more damage. You're taking a 0.67 times multiplier more damage from enemies than you are in legendary difficulty on Skyrim. So just because of the way that output, just the numbers in general, are heavily capped in Oblivion as opposed to Skyrim, where nothing is capped except for armor rating and magic resistance at some point. Yeah, everything in Skyrim is completely uncapped. Everything in Oblivion is capped hard. The caps are higher for enchanting and spell damage output, so you have to kind of leverage that a little bit, which is why I'm, focusing so heavily on the enchantments that I have on my gear instead of how I'm actually playing, because that's how you have to do it in Oblivion. But yeah, in Skyrim, it's easier because there's no cap on damage output whatsoever. You can make any class work as long as you have a little bit of crafting here and there, especially if you're running like Ordinator overhauls, which also remove more caps. In Oblivion, you're hard capped, so that 0.26 damage modifier really hurts a lot more than it does in Skyrim. What level am I on? I am level 31 at the moment. So even though I played my original... let's see if I can find my actual level. Yeah, 31. The very beginning of 31 here. So even though I played my original warrior up to level 20, I think, 21, 22, 23, I restarted him completely. I got a new character. I've been playing this game a lot. I've been pretty focused on this game. All right, let me catch up on chat here. That was a lot. James, welcome. How's it going, buddy? Looks like Haster's been posting. Yeah, I'll check those out later. Haster, sorry about that, buddy. I'm not trying to ignore you, but I will check these out later. I kind of want to get into the gameplay here. James, the Panic Monk is here. Welcome, Joe. How you doing? Hope you're doing well. We got Vicar popped up. I am doing well. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, the mods right now are kind of limited for Oblivion. Mostly, not a whole lot of graphical overhauls. There are like icon and cursor overhauls, replacements anyway. The modding is going to be a little more complicated for Oblivion. A lot of the behind the stuff, like the pure like ESP plugins and stuff that worked for old Oblivion, most of those work for this as well, as long as they're just pure plugins like just number tweaking and things like that. So that's what you're seeing a lot of in the Nexus mods at the moment. Things like graphical overhauls, you're gonna see like LUTs and reshade drop in overhauls and stuff like that. Not a whole lot that makes a bunch of difference from what I've seen, but if you like a certain reshade or LUT better than vanilla, I think the game looks fantastic on its own. I haven't felt the need to redo any of that. But the Unreal Engine part of it that goes over the top of it with like model overhauls and things like that, new weapons, new armors, it's going to take the modding community a little bit to catch up with that. But oh, what do we got here? Oh, we got a rat. They're not skeevers in this game, they're rats. But modders who have experience modding Unreal Engine games and modders who have experience dealing with the Creation Engine games are going to be able, especially modders who have experience with both, are going to have a little bit more freedom, I think, with what they can do. It's kind of like a meshing of two worlds here. The Creation Engine, just dropping in meshes and textures, it was super simple, but I think you get a little more fine-grained control with Unreal Engine, with how things look and different effects and everything that you can have on certain pieces. So I'm excited to see how that goes. Full Daedric, very fancy. Yeah, it starts dropping like candy at around level, I don't know, 25 or so. Weirdly enough, I got the Cuirass and the Greaves really quickly, but the helm, the Greaves, or the helm, the boots, and the gauntlets took a long time to get. The shields seem to drop a little less frequently too. But I am still looking for Daedric pieces, mostly because while I got my weapon enchantments done, the armor enchantments, I'm kind of limited on those based on what I get for the sigil stones for closing gates, right? So the reason why you want to use sigil stones instead of just the built-in enchanting system in the game for your armor is that the sigil stones, the transcendent sigil stones after level, I don't know, I want to say like level 17 or higher, the enchantments that you can put on your armor from those are actually stronger than what you can put on your inventory with self-enchanting. So they just scale a little higher. The problem is you kind of luck of the draw on what you get. They're completely random, right? The End King, welcome, buddy. Remember in original Oblivion, eventually minor bandits would have full Daedric gear? Yeah, that's pretty much where we're at right now. Bandits have Daedric gear, glass gear for the most part. Yeah, that's the that's Oblivion for you. The level scaling is harsh in all assets for sure. But yeah, so sigil stones are going to enchant your gear, your wearable gear, stronger than you can do with self-enchanting, and mainly why it's considered better overall to do sigil stones on your armor is because you can only get one enchantment effect on your armor. You can have multiple, like I think basically as many as you want on your weapons, but with armor you get one, and that one-time effect for armor is stronger with the sigil stones. So I've been trying to piece together more magic resistance, because that's really what's killing me on expert difficulty more than anything else is the magic resistance. But even then I'm doing pretty good here. Spell absorption, I have 45 magnitude total. That's a little more random whether or not you actually absorb that spell. I think you have like a certain amount chance to actually absorb it, and when I do, I'm cutting that almost in half. With regular resist magic, I have a 50 magnitude, so I kind of want to start replacing these absorb spell effects on these different gear, or these different pieces of gear, with just straight up resist magic, because I don't use a whole lot of magicka. Just really one cast at the beginning of each battle, and maybe one more in the middle to recover health and fatigue if I need to. But yeah, that's what I'm looking for right now, is to beef up my magic resistance and maybe some strength for top end damage output with the shield bash. Let me catch up. Magus is playing on expert too. Yeah, are you playing a mage? because it is a little easier for a mage with how spell crafting and spell casting and stuff works. The caps on the damage output are much higher for magic than they are for physical damage. As we saw with the Death Fest last night, doing Meridia. Oh, did you stream Oblivion last night too? I only saw the Skyrim stream pop up. Also, Vortex seemed to be working better. Yeah, that was the other thing. It is heresy, but it is working better because Vortex does work with Unreal Engine out of the box, and it works with Creation Engine out of the box. So it just supports both engines for this game right away. MO2 is going to take a lot of work to support Unreal, but yeah, right now Vortex is the way to go with Oblivion. It does sound gross coming out of my mouth, but that's the way it is right now. I reckon we have the new visual system. They're not like they're gonna add more texture systems into Oblivion. Hopefully we'll see more quest board and weapon packs and spell. Yeah, for sure. I think we will. It's just gonna take modders some time to catch up to it. Remember there's Lichdom mod for Oblivion. Ooh, interesting. Wonder if it's still there. Well, if it has new models on it, it's probably not gonna be ported yet. Yeah, the way BGS games, they do schedule with your level, just like, you know, Morrowind did it. Actually, I think Morrowind was less so, but Skyrim definitely has level scaling, and Oblivion was way harsher with the level scaling because an end game build is typically like around level 35 or so in Oblivion once you get all your skills maxed up, from what I remember. And in Skyrim, you can scale all the way up to however far you want to go with the legendary skill system that they added, I think, to Hearthfire or something like that. So yeah, there really is no cap in Skyrim, where there is hard caps in Oblivion. So all that level scaling happens a lot faster in Oblivion because you can't get to very high levels, so they want to get all the end game stuff in by level, 20, 30 or so. Haven't done anything yet in the Mages Guild, just got one recommendation. Nice. Oh, you're doing a Nightblade. Yeah, stealth is really strong in this game. You can do a master level playthrough with stealth if you get 100% chameleon, then you kind of just break the game at that point. Lexi's playing modded. Yeah, but she's probably not using like any visual overhauls except for like the reshades and stuff. It works fine for the plugins. It's not going to work fine for meshes and textures, because those folders just don't exist. The folder structure is a little bit different. But for your plugins, you're good. Meant quest mods? Yeah. I want someone to play as the Alienate Lich playthrough on Remastered Oblivion. Interesting. Well, speaking of Alienate Lich, I am doing Umbakano's quest right now. We are going to the High Fane right now, or what we expect to be the High Fane here in Arrowshaft Cavern. Two things. We have found, I want to say like 4 or 5 of the Alienate statues here. We've returned those to Umbakano. And now he sent us on a mission for what he suspects is something called the High Fane, which is kind of a center of power for the ancient Aliens. He wants us to go check out this cavern and, just see if this is where he suspects it to be. There was a fellow treasure hunter. I don't remember the dude's name. Let's see here. Nothing you can... Claude Merrick. He warned us to read the Cleansing of the Fane. It sounds like there's going to be some dangerous undead enemies and stuff in the Elven Ruin. Nothing we haven't faced before. He's also very buddy-buddy with us, which kind of makes me suspicious a little bit, because competing treasure hunters usually aren't that friendly with each other, although we do appreciate the warning. All right, let's see here. The Wind popped in. Welcome, Wind. I don't remember if I said hi to you already. I feel like I may have. I don't know. My brain is slipping in my old age here. Oh, dang. Okay, this is kind of a steep drop here, but I think we can butt scooch the way down. Ah! Now I'm really scared. Now we're good. We have a little bit more of a decline here. Oh, no, I was going to Arrow Shaft Cave. No, I'm actually going to Malada here. Malada? Malada? It's an ancient elven ruin. I've really been more focused on the build than questing, so now that the build is kind of done, I just got to kind of refine my gear a little bit. Now it's more about the questing. Okay, we got another full Daedric set here. Rigmor. Rigmor of Bruma, huh? That's where that name comes from.
You have the hands of a healer.
Yes? The arena's faked. You think those guys are getting killed? Really? It's just berry syrup and ham acting.
You think? So you here for Umbacano?
Beautiful countryside, don't you think? We're just doing a bit of hunting and sightseeing. Not that it's any of your business.
Hunting and sightseeing, that's a lot of gear for hunting and sightseeing.
Farewell.
I don't trust you one bit. Although you haven't attacked me on sight yet, but you don't know why I'm here either, I guess. Alright, well, I'll let you continue. You're sleeping. Is this a... Nah, we're a warrior, we're not a thief. They end up trying to kill us, then yeah, we'll take all their stuff. Love berry syrup. Nothing you can possess. Alright, I have located the ruins of the High Fane, now known as Malada. I need to explore Malada and recover the carved panel that Umbacano wants. Okay. So there's some kind of tablet or something that he wants us to get from this. It's apparently very valuable to him. He pays well, though, and he gives us cool adventures to go on, so we have not had any reason not to trust Umbacano, but, you know, a lot of us here are in on the secret, as I mentioned, you know, speaking about alien liches. There's kind of a twist at the end of this. Nothing like some blueberry jam or myrtle jam. That's just very small blueberries, but a lot sweeter. Nice. You guys are making me hungry. I actually didn't have breakfast this morning. I don't get hungry in the mornings. I kind of do a natural intermittent fasting, where I don't get hungry until, you know, 11 or 12, which is right when I typically stream. So I might have to take a break in, you know, 30 minutes or so to grab a snack, and I'll be back. Alright, well, a lot of stuff to loot here anyway. Oh my god, this... Lockpicking in this game can be tedious. There are techniques that people employ. One of the things you can do is you can get the skeleton key fairly early on from Nocturnal, and then you just don't have to worry about breaking lockpicks, and you can just do the, you can just mash the auto pick button. I don't find it difficult at all. I just kind of, you know, you poke the tumbler. That's what the kids are. Oh, it's a bear, huh? Now this is on expert difficulty. As you can see, the enemies still are spongy even with my overpowered shield bash. The next one I'll go at just with the mace to show you just how spongy these enemies can be without the overpowered stuff. See how very little damage I'm doing? I really need to take care of that Spriggan here. Ooh, got him with a good one there. Okay, now I need a soul. So I'm switching over to Frost Cleave. Got a soul. And I'm going to use that soul to recharge my mace. There we go. And that's kind of like how the gameplay loop goes for me on this. And this is expert difficulty, which anybody who's tried to play a warrior on expert difficulty knows that it's not that easy. This is the build and the way I have my spells and enchantments working that's doing a lot of this heavy lifting here. So yeah, the combat in this game, especially for warriors, is a bit scaled back, a bit restricted compared to something like Skyrim. So it tends not to be quite as engaging, at least for, you know, warrior type characters. For mages and stuff, it still can be very, very engaging. But the lack of kill cams here kind of hits me hard. There's not a whole lot of cinematic flair to the combat. They did add in a dodge. Oh, they didn't add it in. There was a dodge in the original game. They did make it I think a journeyman perk for acrobatics. So once you hit acrobatics level 25, which just happens over the course of any playthrough, really, because every time you fall off a cliff or you jump, you get a little bit of progression in your acrobatics skill. So one way to level acrobatics is just to jump. You can make that a little more efficient if you can find an overhang here so you don't jump as high, and then you can just jump really quickly and get your progression up faster. But yeah, once you get to level 25, you do get access to a dodge, which you just hold onto the block button and then jump in any direction, and you'll get this thing. There are no iframes in it, so you can't really use it as like a TK dodge with invincibility frames, like in Skyrim. But you know, it's nice to have it. It's a fun mobility tool. It will get you out of a tight situation if you're surrounded by enemies or whatever. It's not gonna, like I said, prevent you from taking damage because there's no invincibility on it. But you know, you can. It's good for like archers and stuff to gain a little bit more distance. And it looks nicer than it did in the original game, I think, with just the quick step dodge here. You did do like a backflip, though, with the back dodge in the original, and people kind of were sad to see the backflip go. But I don't know, I kind of prefer the simplistic movement a little better. So the way I'm doing the lockpicking here is I'm just watching very closely the tumbler here, and like that time it went up just a little bit slower. Most of the time it goes up really quickly. So I'm just watching for it to go up a little bit slower, and then I hit the button. There are a lot of different techniques that people are using for their lockpicking, like I said, but I kind of just, you know, watch for it to go up slower and then hit the button. Takes a little bit of practice and a little bit of reaction time to be able to do it that way, but as you can see, I'm not breaking any picks even on the hard difficulty locks, so it is possible. And you can see by the gray in my beard that I'm not a young buck anymore. Even though I would still put my reactions higher than average even for younger people. It's possible. Okay, getting about half depleted on the sapping mace here that I got. Woo. I'm 26 and still have old people problems. Nice. I think a lot of us feel that at some point. So we shouldn't talk about food then. Feel free to talk about food. I don't want to stifle anybody's conversations. Let's see. I definitely will be stopping for a break here around noon, though, just to eat, just to have a protein bar or something. Lost around 7 kilograms or 1 stone through the holiday, where I was just waiting just under 100 kilograms before. Nice. Since my gallbladder surgery, I've actually put on about 10 pounds. I don't like that. Got to try to get rid of it. Most of that had to do with just I had to stop working out as much while my body recovered from basically being cut in half. But then also it's like now the high fat foods that used to make my stomach hurt now don't anymore. So just, you know, eating more high fat foods. I gotta rein it in a little bit more. Now, when you hover around 240 pounds, like as a natural, you know, healthy body weight, then that 10 pounds isn't as much as it is for somebody who's much smaller, but gained weight after my gallbladder surgery, but I was pregnant at the time. Yeah, so you're gaining weight regardless. It would be a problem if you weren't gaining weight while you're pregnant. Oh, that was my window there, and I missed it. There we go. That was a good one there too. There we go. There was a bug in one of the other elven ruins that I went that has like the poison pit, like the poison gas down on the lower levels there. Even after you moved yourself from the gas, it was still like ticking like indefinitely, and then you would just eventually die. But it turned out it was a bug for everybody, and basically you just let yourself die and then reload, and you won't be ticking your health anymore. It is a true story. Yeah, I don't think she's trying to pull one over on you. Okay. Well, they're not getting through there yet. Nothing you can possess. I have found the carving that Umbacano wants. I need to get out of the ruins and return to the Imperial City to deliver it. Okay, so it's kind of a short dungeon. Oh my god. Can I get through here? Doesn't look like it. But we have skeletons now, so this is the undead that the cleansing of the Fane was warning about. So blade versus blunt here. Blunt weapons, the perks that you get for these, I would say that the blade is actually better in terms of the perk that you get for those skills. So if you do a power attack with a blunt weapon, you do get a shield. But once you hit your armor cap of 85, you can see how much damage this axe is doing here too. That's because of the stacking weaknesses that you get on your enemy. Undead is going to be resistant to cold, which is the damage that I'm doing. But after like 3 or 4 swipes, these enemies just crumbled, and you can tell how much health that they had, or how much damage they were tanking with my shield bashes there too. So yeah, the stacking weaknesses, they go a long way. Blunt weapons work better against undead and constructs, while blade works better on normal targets. At least that was... Yeah, so blade I feel like is better because in this game anyway, I think the perks for... Actually, let's take a look. Let's go here. So power attacks do more damage for the apprentice level 1 there. Journeyman power attacks apply weakness to normal weapon to your opponent. So this is all just... you know, increasing your damage output higher and higher with blade. With Blunt, it's more focused on defense a little bit. So you get shields, which are kind of, like I said, once you get to your armor cap passively, then the shield does nothing because you're capped at 85 armor rating. And shield just increases armor rating. It doesn't give you an extra actual shield that the enemy has to break through in order to get to your armor. It just increases your armor rating. But with regular attacks, we do have a slight chance to silent opponents, so Blunt is technically better against casters. And I think it also does fatigue damage, if I'm not mistaken here. Power attacks, grant you shield, chance to silence. Oh no, the reason I'm getting knockdowns with this is because of the enchantment that I have that absorbs fatigue. So no, this is you get silence and you get shield. So for me, going Blunt was just more of a flavor choice because I like axes, like I said. I think they just look cool. I think if I were actually going to choose a weapon of preference, it would be an axe because I like the weight distribution more toward the end. It gives you a little bit faster of a swing. You also do get the benefit of the bladed edge on an axe that you don't get with a mace. But that's just all kind of immersive realism type stuff, which is why I tend to choose axes in games other than swords. But in this game, it seems like just with the increased high level damage output with a sword, that's kind of the no-brainer pick for a warrior. So do as I say, not as I do. If you're going to do a warrior build, pick swords. You're going to get a lot more unique variants of swords too if you pick blade. First barbecue of the year for me. Hey, nice. Dyed my hair ruby red and got my nails done. Hey, that's awesome. Nothing like an overhaul, a fashion overhaul, huh? Make you feel like a new person. Still combat. What's going on, guys?
Good day.
Hey, buddy.
You too.
So I don't know if you were here for this tablet, but oh, yep. Okay. No, we had a...
Die, damn you!
Is that a zombie? Oh no, there's a lich there.
Well done. You have much to learn about this business, my friend, but you show definite promise.
It just took time for
First,
Claude
of
to get
course,
here.
You must hand over the carving.
No, not gonna happen, buddy.
Are you sure? I truly have no wish to harm you. It is the carving I want. Just business. Hand it over.
It's not a
Someday
mod.
we
It's
will
just a
both
regular
laugh about this
NPC
over
called
drinks at the
Rigmore.
Tiber Scepter.
that's just her
I will
name.
give you one last chance.
She was here before the Skyrim mod.
As you wish. Too bad. I was just getting to like you.
Too bad for you. This is gonna be a tough fight on legendary or on expert.
Take that!
Die, damn you! You're pathetic.
I won't you
Okay, so when you're fighting multiple people, multiple enemies, multiple attackers here, you kind of want to single out one. Their strength comes from their numbers mostly. So the faster you can cull their numbers, and this is just general tactics, this isn't an Oblivion specific thing, this works for all games, or even real life. If you ever get attacked by multiple people, concentrate on taking one of them out first. Now, that doesn't mean to say ignore everybody else, but focus all your attacks, all your damage on one person and get them out of the picture. And then, so if you're fighting 3 people, fighting 2 people is a lot easier than fighting 3, and fighting 1 person is a lot easier than fighting 2. So the faster you can call those numbers, the better. Where's Claude? Is Claude around here, or did I already kill him? Okay, this glass stuff is really valuable. I'm not really hurting on money. I have 114,000 septums here. Nice. Daedric bow there. Be all over that if I were an archer, but I'm not. Melee only. Here we go. Rigmore has the stuff that I want. The note. Did Claude escape? Dastardly rogue. See the note. What does the note say? Rigmore, set up camp out of sight and keep an eye out for strangers. Umbacano thinks to cheat us as usual, so we'll play it cautiously. Do not enter the ruin until I arrive. We may not need to risk our necks this time. I see. So he's letting us do the work. And that's Merrick. P.S. Keep an eye on Srazir. He's acting even twitchier than usual. Maybe he finally realized he isn't getting a full cut. But I think he's good for one more job, and he's the best I could come up with on short notice. Okay, so I was right to be suspicious there. I do remember this, so it's not just me being super intuitive as a human being, right? Battle Axe of Winter, nice. I do remember some of this game. I remember a lot of this game, actually, even though I've forgotten it, because it's been, you know, 20 years, almost 20 years since I played it. So I have actually forgotten a lot of what happens in this game, but as I played through it, it comes back to me like pretty strongly. So I did know to be suspicious of Claude, even though if I didn't remember exactly how he was going to betray us. And depending on which angle you come from, you don't always see that camp that they set up out there. Gonna take the helmet because I want to redo the enchantment on that when we get some stuff. And then the gauntlets are fairly rare too. So we're taking the helmet and we're taking the gauntlets. Now, encumbrance is not usually a big thing. 550 standard, and then of course if I cast my strength spell here, it pops it up to 820. So I don't have to worry too much about becoming encumbered. I just have to make it a point to get back to a shop every once in a while to unload my gear. This battle axe, I really wish this wasn't already enchanted. I could use it to do another enchanted battle axe, but as it is, I could sell it for a lot of money, but it's just really heavy. I don't want to grab it. Is this Mom Rigmore, not the daughter that is a Skyrim quest mod? It could be. Although I think Skyrim is almost 200 years after after Oblivion. And Nords don't really have that high of a lifespan, right? That long of a lifespan. I think they're about just regular real life human lifespan. So she's probably a couple generations removed from the Rigmore of Skyrim. How the name of the place continually pops up after you discover it right in the middle of the screen. Yeah, that is kind of annoying. Grilled chicken for this guy today. Yeah, I got to do something healthy today. I heard food, barbecue. Now, barbecue does sound amazing, right? Yeah, I ate a lot of salty food in San Diego. And I didn't go out of my way to eat salty food. It's just everything that I ordered at all the restaurants, they just had a lot of extra salt on it for whatever reason. And ever since then, I've had these like bags under my eyes. I'm dehydrated, so I'm trying to lay off the salt and just get more and more water. And I'm like putting moisturizer on my skin now. Well, I've always put moisturizer on my face, just, you know, trying to you know, staunch the aging a little bit. Some of it's vanity, right? But also your skin is the largest organ of your body. Two things. So you really want to take care of it, right? There are a lot of general health concerns that you can have by ignoring your skin. So that's a health tip for y'all. Don't ignore your skin. You take multivitamins, you take probiotics for your gut and everything, but you also want to take care of that skin too. Hey, there's Tom. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, heat is something that we don't need right now. We're in the triple digits this week. Next week, we're back down into the 80s for a few days, which I'm very much looking forward to. We've had beautiful weather here. 97 degrees already. This is Fahrenheit, not Celsius. This is probably somewhere in the 40s for you, for Celsius guys. If I can't really do the math in my head too well there, but before noon, I think we're getting up to, let's see, what are we getting up to today? High of 101. It was up to 102 yesterday, and then 102 tomorrow, and then back down into the 90s and 80s by Wednesday. So just trying to get to Wednesday. Not enough in the UK for us. Think about something lotion. Tend to get enough walking in that I don't really need to take vitamins. Yeah, I mean, well, things like vitamin C comes from a diet. Things like vitamin D come from like sunshine, but I don't think you guys typically get a lot of sunshine there in the UK, right? So vitamin D supplements might be something that you might want to look into taking. But most of the other stuff you get from your diet, not so much just from being outdoors. And then as a young person, you typically don't need the vitamins as much as us old folks do. Nice, Karn. We've been in the 50s. I love the 50s. The 50s are my ideal temperature. Something that I can be comfy with in a nice baggy hoodie or something. I am out of charge. Yeah, so fighting humans is going to be an issue with this build because I rely so much on absorbing soul energy from creatures, white souls, not so much dark souls. Because Azura's star can only take white souls of creatures, right? So if I'm fighting humans, I'm not absorbing souls, and these powerful enchantments, they tend to run out of charge really, really quickly. So it is also kind of necessary to make sure that you're have some soul gems stocked up. Like I have a common soul. There's nothing in that one. I have a common soul in this grand soul gem here, which is not ideal, but you know, that's something that we can use. And also make sure you keep some Varla stones on you as well. The grand soul gems I try to keep for enchanting. Now I'm going to get to a point where I have so many grand soul gems that I don't need to save them up anymore. But I'll take all the non-grand soul gems or grand soul gems that have less than grand souls in them, and I'll use those to recharge. But yeah, and then also you'll find Varla stones throughout some of your Elven Ruin dungeon dives. Oops, I used that on the wrong weapon. Damn it. Oh, but I do have completely full charges. So maybe that the Varla stones actually fully recharge all your weapons. It makes them even more valuable. Hell yeah. This one's slow tonight. It's Oblivion. You thought it was Skyrim? That's awesome. Okay, so while we're here, we go do Sundercliffe Watch. I don't know if this is something that an NPC just put on my map or if this is part of a quest. Let's just scan the quest log here real quick. Deep Scorn Hollow. Nord named Tolgan. Just wants me to talk to the Countess of Bruma. Othiel. Head toward Camp Ailes. That's not what I'm looking for. Count of Skingrad. Okay, Garridan's Tears. I have to talk to somebody for that one first. An Oblivion Gate outside of Cheydinhal. Need a Black Soul Gem. For Vermina. Shadow Banish Wine. Nothing about the fort here. It's the main quest line. I need to get another Daedric artifact because I'm not giving up Azura's Star. It's too much of a keystone for this build with how I'm using strong enchantments on my weapons here. Glarthir. Oh, and those are the twins. Interesting NPCs in Skyrim has something very similar to this. It's told an old priest in Kvatch is losing faith. Okay, I think that's one of the newer DLC mods. Or additions to the game. Here in Bruma, Raynal Draelis, Vampire Hunter in Bruma. Nope, okay. So this is just a point of interest that we haven't seen yet. So let's go ahead and check that out. There's a fort over here to the east. Let's go do that. Since we're already way the hell out here, we're probably not going to be getting back out here anytime soon. Also, though, let's check the lake for Nirnroot. I do need to turn in 40 Nirnroot. I'm on the last stage of Sindarian's quest line. By the way, the gathering Nirnroot, the quest for that in this game is way scaled up compared to Skyrim. In Skyrim, you only need to gather like, what, 30 Crimson Nirnroot? And then I think you only need 10 or so for what's her name in Riften. So yeah, you have to, for the quest line in this game that has to do with Nirnroot, you have to gather 10, and then you have to gather 20 more, and then you have to gather 30 more after that, and then you have to gather 40 more after that. And so I'm on the 40 more phase right now. So 10 plus 20 is 30, plus 30 is 60, plus 40 is 80. You end up having to gather, oh crap, that's a mountain lion and a damn mud crab. So yeah, you end up having to gather 80 Nirnroot instead of just the 30 plus whatever. And with the Crimson Nirnroot, at least they're all in one enclosed location, right? You don't have to go all over the world looking for the Crimson Nirnroot. Here they can be literally anywhere on the map, close to water and underground. Endurance is being drained. Oh, I bet I have, yeah, I have a disease. Okay. That's why you always carry cure disease potions on your person. Had 8 of them. Swamp fever, yeah. That's when you're really into chicks from Louisiana. You got that swamp fever. The real trashy ones. That's why you go vampire. Good call. Vampire is rough in this game. Vampire is way rougher in this game than it is in Skyrim. You can actually lose health from being in daylight. Or you do actually lose health. Just simply being a vampire in daylight in this game will kill you. I had a friend who on his first playthrough of Oblivion didn't realize that he had a disease that was going to lead to vampirism. So, and this happened to probably thousands of people who played this game. Yeah, I didn't realize he got the porphyric hemophilia or whatever that turns into vampirism in this game. It's a different strain of vampirism in this game than it is in Skyrim. So he became a vampire during a really long dungeon run. And he got to the point where he needed to get out of the dungeon because the enemies were scaling higher than what he was able to take on, even at lower difficulty levels. Because if you don't know what you're doing in this game and you do your build incorrectly, you're going to be super underpowered compared to your enemies. And he was also a vampire, so it was daylight outside, so he couldn't go outside because he would die to that. He couldn't stay inside because the enemies inside would kill him, and he couldn't wait because the enemies were too close to be able to just wait in game. And yeah, he was so starved for blood that he couldn't even fast travel once he got outside. As soon as he fast traveled anywhere, he would die instantly when he came back. So he basically soft locked his game with vampirism. I had a friend too once. You got lots of friends. I'm a friend. Karn is Magus's friend. All right, here we go. What, you don't want to... You're just going to let your skeleton... You're going to let your murder boner come after me? Really? Bad tactic, buddy. You got to defend yourself. So we got a conjurer's lair here, huh?
Hello? Who's there? Am I supposed to be impressed? Who's there?
Yeah, they're quick. All right, so let's do this. We're gonna switch to Frostcleave here, our battle axe, because conjured minions in this game do have souls on them that you can harvest. That one went into a lesser soul gem or something that was already empty. No, still don't have it in that one. All right, let's switch back. I'm over encumbered. I can fix that. Yeah, she's dead. All right, so those souls that I was absorbing, they weren't going into Azura's Star, probably because I have looted too many soul gems here. Too much shit in my inventory. I can't get to where I want. Yeah, they're all in the common gems here. Okay. That I can use. What else needs it? Well, a Daedric mace. I'm still looking for a Daedric war axe. I don't think I've actually found one single unenchanted Daedric war axe. I found one that was already pre-enchanted with flame enchantment, which is fine early game, you know, but get to a certain point, or if you're playing on higher difficulty levels, you really need those custom enchantments. I'm at 547. Do I have anything that I can just straight up drop here? Yeah, I got some stuff. Don't need the bow. Still. Any more fracturing? Yeah, we'll get rid of that too. Got plenty of money. I don't need all the loot. Basically just looking for unenchanted Daedric gear at this point. Actually, don't even need that hammer either. Actual carry weight is 500. Yeah, before all the... Actually, did I get diseased again? Thought it was like 540. Effects. Yeah, I have a collie wobbles. Look at that. Damn, another disease. Maybe Magus is onto something with the whole vampirism thing. Actually, probably should have waited for the end of the, yeah, 550 is my actual carry weight. Oh, and by the way, they changed the dungeon specific map in this game. You have to zoom all the way in and then zoom in a little further if you're playing on controller anyway. If you're playing a mouse and keyboard, there might be another button you can push, or you can just click the thing. Click the thing with the thing. Nothing good in there. Feels like this should be a boss chest, but there's like nothing doing in here. So yeah, if you were confused on how to get the dungeon map, that's how to do it. There's been some discussion around this game. I've been watching videos and reviews and stuff on it, and that's one thing that people didn't realize you could do. They're like, why did they take this out? And yeah, it's just because they moved it to a place that was not as obvious. Okay, next time I see a conjured minion, I'm gonna use my frost cleave axe on it. Which is really what the necromancer wants you to do, right? They want you to attack their minions and not them, but I need the souls. I need the white souls. It's the same on mouse and keyboard, but we can just use tab afterward to go back to the dungeon map. Nice, okay. Yeah, for controller players, you gotta zoom all the way in, which sucks, and then you gotta hit the zoom button one more time. But once you're there, you just hit the zoom out button once and you're there, so it's just one button press. Ew. What's this nasty stuff? These look like giant finger bones. Gnarly. I feel like this dungeon is part of a quest or something. You don't actually unlock all of it until the quest is active. It feels like there should be a lot more here than what is actually here. Yeah, that was the whole damn thing. So basically the same, just different button presses. Yep. Sounds like it. Oh shit, no, where am I going? I need to head east. That was Fort Cupter, barely even newer. We need to go to the other side of the lake here to get to this landmark that was put on our map at some point, but I don't know why. I thought you'd like that, I guess. Cupter, barely even newer. Okay, it's 12:14 p.m. here in sunny Scottsdale, Arizona. So I think at 12:30 I'm gonna take a break. I'm gonna get a snack. It'd be like a 5-minute jobber. One nice thing about the shield bashing too is it doesn't take up enchanting from your weapon. One bad thing about the shield bash though is that even if you have your shield enchanted, it doesn't seem to damage enemies that require a magic or a silver weapon to damage. Oh. The hell? Oh, I need to move north. There's that lovely invisible wall. Turns out they do exist before Starfield. All right, Sundercliffe Watch. That's what we're looking for, I think, right? Indeed it is. A lot of green stain caps here. Ross Norris, hey, welcome, buddy. Hope you're doing well. We got a wolf over here. Let's take care of him. Just in case we need to wait or fast travel or something. Don't want random enemies keeping us from doing that. Silent Echo, welcome. Silent Elko, as I just see an elk fly by the screen. Hope you guys are doing well. Yeah, the green stain caps I don't need. There's some specific alchemy ingredients that I'm looking for to avoid being constantly encumbered by 1,000 different alchemy ingredients. Get elked. Indeed. Some people do get elked on the highway or whatever. Unearthing Mehrunes razor. Dagger? Man, getting old. Tripping over my words. I've entered Sundercliffe Watch, a place that folklore links to Mehrunes Dagon. I should explore the area. Yeah, sure, why not? I could use the razor as the Daedric artifact that I sacrifice for the main quest line. Oh, okay. You want to fight? Let's do this. Droth Merry Soldier. Gonna be a college student in the fall semester, all enrolled. Cool, man. What kind of classes you taking? And then for people who are just joining, oh, let's see, doing good, gonna be lurking, probably playing OG Oblivion, heavily modded. Nice. Yeah, we don't have any heavily modded, well, I mean, there are people who are running lots of mods, but a lot of it's just like plugins and INI tweaks right now. Yeah, a lot of people are preferring a voice beyond the door calls out, who gathers storm clouds over Nirn? Say nothing. We need anti-knapsack. Small diary. Here we go. A diary I found contains password to explore further and seems to indicate that some kind of army is amassing here, led by somebody named Drothan. If I can find the journal in his cabin, I may be able to learn more. Drothan's cabin, huh? Timer? Oh shit, okay, well. That works for me. Yeah, I'm playing on expert difficulty here. So I'm employing a lot of tricks just to make this build worthwhile on higher difficulty levels. Expert difficulty is rough on this game. It's actually harder than legendary difficulty in Skyrim. Single out an enemy here. Man, did they improve the AI of NPCs, combat AI of NPCs in this game? I feel like they did, because she was doing a really good job of flanking me. Right, I need more fatigue regeneration here. I do have a ton of recover fatigue. It's fine, we'll use the ones with the weaker ailments on them. Okay, I'm gonna switch to my two-handed. Do some more damage. And then I'll just use a Varla stone at the end of this battle here to recharge everything. Okay, out of enchantment, or out of charge on everything. So let's go ahead and pop a Varla stone now. Recharge everything.
Bleed to death.
Back to the bash. Alright, let's focus on the one without the hood for now. Yeah, there we go. And I'm running out of durability on the cuirass, it looks like. Damn, Mehrunes got quite the following, huh? I really do like the new dagger animations in this game. They did a good job with the animations for a lot of the weapons in this game. They gave each different kind of weapon, not just the weapon type, but each weapon their own. Some of them are subtly different, but gave them their own animations, which I appreciate. They are damage sponges. Yeah, in expert they are. Getting Mehrunes Razor. I'm going for a major in biblical theory with a minor in mission ministries. Okay. You going for that chaplain stuff that you wanted to do? That's cool. On the road. I play on expert now too since I hit level 30. Stealth and all that extra damage. Yeah, I mean, I think like stealth, and if you're going for the really broken spell crafting and enchanting stuff, those are really the only viable ways to play on master difficulty. I'm taking some of those concepts and using them in my warrior build just to even be viable at all on legendary, or not legendary, expert. Moon Shadow Guard, are these Daedric? Maybe they're fairly light. All right, let's repair. Oh, crap. Is that a new guy, or is that the same guy that just got knocked out?
I'm just warming up, you pathetic worm.
Pathetic worm? That was mean. And also, you're dead. Lots of arrows. Doing the quest for Umbocano, the collector quest. Oh yeah, I'm doing that right now actually. It's just it took me, the High Fane location was close to this this fort, and I didn't realize the fort was on my map. I think I talked to some Dunmer in some like city somewhere for Daedric rumors, or Daedric shrine rumors or whatever, and she put this on the map. Did not mean to take that cuirass. So it just popped up on my map as a POI, and I was like, "What does this do?" And it turns out it's Mehrunes Dagon. But yeah, I'm here doing the Umbocano quests as well. Just got attacked by Claude Merrick, I think. Just did the High Fane part where you get ambushed after you get the stone. Spoilers by Claude Merrick. Yeah, we just did that, so you're not spoiling anything up to that point. I already kind of teased Alien Lich. Somebody mentioned an Alien Lich mod. Aliad, not Alien. Aliad Lich mod. I was like, hey, speaking of Alien Liches, I'm doing the Umbocano quest. And we are encumbered. There's probably a bunch of shit here that I don't need. Greaves, yeah, I don't need the greaves. Gauntlets, I don't need all the gauntlets. Just one of the gauntlets. We've gotten weapons here. The arrows are very low encumbrance for how much money they give me, so I'll probably keep that. So I can get rid of the staff and we're good. Oh, I see a chest. Oh, where are you going? Not a charge here. That's all right. Yeah, because I'm using the Azura's Star here to recharge my weapons constantly. Fighting humans is more challenging than fighting creatures. I need those white souls in order to maintain what I'm doing here. Did I just go right back up the same way I came? I did. Sunderstone Village. They have a whole underground like civilization going on. It seems like it. There are a lot of people here.
Who's there? Who's there? Who's there? This ends here. This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
Okay, let's try to maintain the height advantage here. I don't want to get drawn down into that pit with a bunch of archers firing down on me. There we go. The bubbles glitch on your character after you swim? Yeah. There are a lot of different effects that just stay permanent for a while. Some of the cooler ones, though, it's like if you have the flame effect on you and it never releases, then your character is just on fire. It looks cool as hell, actually.
Your presence here will not be tolerated.
Oh, we got a shield guy, huh? Alright, she's taking a long time. Let's hit her with the enchanted stuff here. Yep. Okay, good. I don't remember this questline at all from the original. I was saying earlier, like, I played this game a lot, like, 15, 20 years ago, you know? And I did everything multiple times. But a lot of the stuff I've forgotten. But as I'm, like, playing through it, it comes back, like, really hard. It's like, oh yeah, I just dead-ass remember everything else that happens in this quest. This one, it's not happening with. Gassed out on that one. Shit ton more arrows. That's gonna start really... Oh, an ebony short sword. I haven't seen one of these yet. That would be cool for a quick, like, scout type character. Agility based warrior. Never got Mehrunes Razor for this game, not even in the OG. I just got it like 2 days ago. Really? think there's another set of barracks deeper in the dungeons. Well, good thing I am set up for the long haul with this. Well, my enchantments might run out, but at least I can fall back on my shield bashes here. Would really like to get under my natural encumbrance here so I don't get slowed down every time my battle surge spell casts
Hello? Who's there?
expires. All right, let's do it. This is what I didn't want to do, is charge down into this pit here. And yet, here we are. A little bit more fatigue recovery there. Let's focus on one guy, take him out. Okay, and I am out of fatigue. Get a little bit of it back. The guy without the hood is the one we're focused on. Alright, we got one left. Let's go ahead and take a potion. I have some potions of restore fatigue that also do restore health. A little bit of damage magicka, but pretty negligible. Anyone else? Cool. Let's get fixed up here. Where's the other dude? A lot of heavily armored archers in this dungeon here. This seemed like a really small shack to have a load door for, right? Oh shit. Ooh. Did I get a soul for that? I did. Nice. Just a lesser soul, though. Just put it on this.
You'll never take me down. Over with. I'm just warming up, pathetic worm.
Guy with the short hair we're singling out here. There we go.
Supposed to be impressed.
There's another one downstairs, too, huh?
I'll have your head ignored. Do your work.
He's dead. Ooh, broke my guard with that one. All right. The Khajiit that is part of the ambush during the High Fane quests, all those people are in the Roxy Inn. Yeah, that's right. I do remember seeing Rigmore there. I believe in all that fancy leveled armor. Yeah, it was because I needed, that's where I went to go get my armor training. He had like 200 Daedric arrows. Holy shit. Yeah, you must have fought it at a higher level than I did. Although not much higher level. I think the last you said you were at level 32. I'm at 31 now. Yeah, like you said in the Discord, leveling slows down a lot, a ton at level 30. In fact, I would say like level 30 is probably a pretty good general soft cap for like if you wanna do like build guides or something like that. Maybe even lower than that, maybe like 25. Yeah, I was 31 when I did it, now I'm 32. So we're at the same level. I didn't see that many Daedric arrows. He did have a lot of arrows on him. Sadly, I don't even use arrows. But just from the archers that I have played in this game, I know that those high level arrows are very valuable. Anybody in here in the jail? No, nobody? Could take a nap here if I wanted, though.
Hi there.
Okay, well, the enemy of my enemy is my friend, huh? Well, let's do this. Yeah, that was the first broken lockpick of the stream. I'm over here preaching that you don't need fancy tricks to do this stuff, and I just break a lockpick on stream. Oh my god. I blinked at the wrong spot. Oh, that was my window. Morag Tong Assassin. Okay, we're gonna talk to this guy in a minute. I'm gonna pause it here. I need to take a quick break. I gotta pee and get a snack, but I'll be back real soon. See ya. All right, I'm back. Pooping again? Oh man, I wish. Pooping is awesome. Yeah, snacks are awesome too. Man, I want to eat all of those emojis that Win posted. I love all those foods. Hell yeah. Pancakes, waffles, sandwiches, fries, burgers, bacon, hot dogs, fried eggs. Yes. I'll have one of each, please. Yes, that, all that. Which also will lead to pooping again. That is my circle of joy. Eat a lot, poop a lot. Eat a lot, poop a lot. All right, who is this Morog Tong guy?
It's my pleasure. Please.
Damn, he looks cool as hell.
Take care.
Really? Nothing? Okay. Silence pooping right now. All right, is this gonna help you poop? Hold on, let me see. Watching you poop. Push! Harder! Push! Don't clench, but push. You don't want to try to keep it in and push it out all at the same time. Do it! You got this, bro. I keep staring. Good times. Yeah, it's a hard balance, right? If you're trying to like poop, but you're having some trouble. It's like you want to force it out, but you can't force. You gotta push and relax at the same time. It's a technique. Had to bring out my anime screen for that one. Nice. The background just turns into flashing colors. You got the bead of sweat on your forehead and the big vein popping out. Velnus, keep searching for the writ that assassin carries. The patrolmen have searched the tunnels in hopes that he dumped it when he was found out, but he may carry it on his person yet. If that's the case, I shudder to think where it's hidden. Oh, talking about not clenching. Try sneaking in there while he's sleeping to search the cell, and by Nerevar, get to work building that second cell. I don't want to execute that assassin until we find out who he came for. And Sardova needs someplace to lock up the workers when they get out of line. Okay, so there's some writ in here. I probably have to kill that assassin. Or pickpocket off him, I guess. But as a warrior, I'm only going to be able to kill him. He's not in the cell anymore, but I would imagine... Is there a... But I would imagine if I let him out that he would have taken that writ with him. I don't think he would have left it here, would he? What the hell did I have now that's causing me so much encumbrance? He goes outside. Yeah, I saw him leave the jail. Might have to go kill him. I think he runs away if I'm not mistaken. I just killed him and got his awesome armor. Oh, sweet. Yeah, the glass shit I don't need. I was just gonna sell it and I don't really need the money anyway. Don't need both hammers. Don't need the wolf pelt. I already got the trophy in Battlehorn Castle. Everything else is super light. Dang. It must be all these arrows that is encumbering me. It's definitely all the arrows. All right, let's get rid of the lower level ones. I don't need like iron and steel regular arrows. Dang, that helped a lot. There we go. He has something important on him too, if I recall correctly. Ah, shit. Probably something I missed, huh? Well, it said in that note that he had the target, because the Morag Tong is obviously, you know, the Dark Elven Assassinations Guild, or Assassins Guild. The writ on him had the target that he was going after, so they wanted to see who he was trying to kill. If he's got like a key item or something on, he's got that invisibility too. He's going to be damn near impossible to find. Do I have a detect life spell? I might. Just don't end up being much of a caster. The only spells that I have are either to level up my skill level in order to get other stuff that I can enchant. Major detect life. Can I even cast that? I can. Look at that. Okay. Could be wrong. Yeah, like I said, this is like one of those quests that I just don't remember at all from the original. Even though I must have done it multiple times. This is where I came in from. So that's where he would be escaping to. Can't imagine. Well, okay, so if let's put ourselves in his shoes here. He's a Morag Tong assassin that risked life and limb to complete this contract. Ended up getting caught. But then gets loose again. Is that Morag Tong assassin going to just escape and leave, or is he going to stick around here and try to complete his contract? I would assume that, you know, this warrior comes in and clears this place out for him, that he's going to take this as a perfect opportunity to complete his quest, to complete his contract. So I would think that he would stick around here somewhere.
Evening. Hi there.
Oh shit, I just spilled Monster all over my dick.
Bless your personality.
Feels nice.
I heard that
You be saying. I'm not playing with it. I'm wiping it off. You guys didn't just see what you think you saw.
Hi there. Showing your face was the last mistake you'll ever make.
Is it? Oh wow. Is that guy invisible? Alright, let's focus on this guy. The guy without the hood.
I'll have your head, you filthy lord. Oh. Do your worst.
God, 3 of these guys in one spot. I think Magus was mentioning something in one of the discords about. Oh no, I'm sorry, that was on his stream. He was talking about how in Skyrim, the shield bash that procs the spell scribe was if you took the range spells, sometimes it would go past the person right in front of you that you're trying to hit and hit the person behind them.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
But I've been playing so much
Let's get this over with.
Oblivion that I had just automatically applied that to Oblivion, and I was just noticing how like the shield bash, I'll have somebody right in front of me and then the shield bash will hit the person like off to the left or something. There is a targeting mechanic in the creation engine. In the vanilla game, you just never see it. If you have something like total directional movement or something like that that has a lock-on mechanic on it, you can see how the targeting works. It just kind of surfaces the targeting mechanism that's already there. So unless you have like a mod like Precision or something like that, which, you know, I don't really like the way that mod feels when I play it, you're not really getting realistic hit detection. It's just kind of hitting whoever it's targeting in the background. And that is that's how Oblivion is working here now too. It seems. It as is apparent now. That whole mechanic is not new to Skyrim. It's been around. All right. Well, it looks like we have 1 or 2 more buildings to check here. We haven't checked the canteen yet. And then we'll just go down the cave. I don't think we're going to be finding that that Morag Tong guy. Maybe he'll ambush us at some point, or maybe he'll make a grand re-entrance when we get to his target. We'll see.
Show me what you've got.
But we're certainly not going to find him.
Oh.
Is that a Daedra sword? Oh, that's an ebony. That ought to do it. There we go. Yeah, I thought there was a second one. Is he... No, he's downstairs. Nope, there he is. Oh, wow. That's an agile one, huh? Now, he's got a Daedric short sword, it looks like. Nice. Yeah, I don't need any more arrows at this point, I think. I really like the look of the hood with the clothing on it. I kind of want to do an agent playthrough at some point in the future of this game. I think that would be fun as hell to play in the new remaster. So the agent would be unarmored, illusion, sneak, archery, some other thiefy stuff. Kind of like a Nightblade, but with bow and arrows instead of daggers. Agents are cool. The agent build that I did in Skyrim was one of my favorite playthroughs I've ever had. Speaking of builds in Skyrim, I'm obviously going to keep doing them, right? That's kind of the bread and butter of the channel, and I have too much fun to doing those builds to give up on it completely or whatever. But last year I had a lot of different characters that I was running at the same time. I have found that I much more enjoy playing one character at a time and just focusing on that until the playthrough runs its course, and then I'll do a build guide on it. So yeah, last year I barely had any builds that went out because I was parallelizing the stuff too much. She swinging a broom at me? Or a rake? I really don't want to fight you. There's something unsettling about her swinging household equipment at me, like, and she's like not even scared for some reason. Like having just this laborer swinging a rake at me without any fear in the world is kind of terrifying. Heavy rake, huh? It's really heavy, it's not very strong, it's not valuable. Making my message stand out. It's like a highlighted message on Twitch. Hell yeah. Thanks for the $5, Wind. It's very nice of you. Thank you so much. Very generous and very kind. Alright, I think I've explored all the buildings, right? The only thing left is to go deeper down into these caverns. Oh, there's a dude. Some kind of sentry up here. Ooh. I see this. I'm gonna take your ancestor's soul and use it to charge my weapons. What do you think about that? I wouldn't like that too much if I were you. Armor at 100 is worth it for all builds? Absolutely. Except for maybe like, oh geez, another $5? Wind, come on, man. Killing me with kindness. Thank you so much. The message really does stand out too. I like that. It's almost blinding me. Like, ooh. It's also like biddies. It is kind of like biddies. Tiggle biddies. Yeah, except for pure mage. If you're not using anything physical, or even like if you're just using, you got like a warlock build or something where you're using conjured weapons and armor. Obviously, you just reconjure it at full Tiggle what now? Tiggle biddies iron shot. Wind is sending me Twitch biddies on YouTube here. Flashing dem biddies. And welcome, Ireshot. Good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Have you been playing Oblivion? I think I saw a stream or two of you playing Oblivion. I'm loving this game. Oh man, he's good.
What's the matter? Getting tired? What's the matter?
Yeah.
Getting tired? Well, this ends got here.
Get some of that fatigue back. Going for that Daedra dagger. It looks like he had a pretty decent physical weapon, though. It seemed like a tactical mistake, I would say. Some more fatigue regeneration here. Oh, I'm out of fatigue. Okay. More of that. More of this. I should double stack fatigue regeneration. Though I'm out of magicka now. No big deal. Didn't see me? You can't see me. I'm John Cena. The biggest dude in the cave, and you can't see me. Eat it. See if we can keep him stun locked with the right timing here. There we go. Nice. Yeah, I've been playing this like once a week currently. Nice. Yeah, like I was saying, I was doing the multiple character thing for most of last year and probably most of this year so far, but I've just found that one playthrough at a time is how I'm getting the most enjoyment out of these games personally. I don't think it will slow down my productivity at all by focusing on one at a time. It's just gonna be, there's gonna be like less burst videos out. So like last year I didn't hardly have any. I think I had like one build guide or something out last year. But I had like 4 different playthroughs going at once. So now I'm getting to the end of like almost all of those, and I'll have like 4 build guides out in this year. But if I were focusing on one, they would come out more regularly, but we wouldn't have the burst releases. But I'm not doing this to make a living. I'm doing this to have fun, and if I'm having more fun just doing one playthrough at a time, then that's how I'm going to do it. I'm going to be over encumbered. Don't need all these. Kind of don't like how they took away the new attack animation to get when you level up Blade for like 25, 75, and 100 for your power attacks. They took away those animations. Oh, they did? I hadn't noticed. And like I said, it's been, you know, between 15 and 20 years since I played this game, so I don't really remember how the old animations looked. But I know that like Skyrim, that just all one-handed animations are just generic. I didn't know they had unlockable animations as you leveled up your skill. That's interesting. Or obviously that they took it away. Really? I just liberated you, buddy. So you're attacking me, but you're not attacking me. All right. Remember those animations in OG Oblivion when you leveled up Blade, you had unlocked animations? Okay, yeah, I don't remember that. I'm not saying that it didn't happen. I'm just saying that... Oh, there's the Morag Tong guy. Sweet.
Oh, am I supposed to be impressed? I've fought mudcrabs more fierce than the
I wonder if there's something that you get for keeping him alive. Or if I just become a loose end. Oh, no, don't have to worry about it. Oh, really? Okay. You want to play it like that, I guess. I need fatigue regeneration here. You're punching me with your hands. I have full Daedric plate armor here. Guess laborers have tough hands, huh? Okay, see you later. And I really gotta recharge my weapons here. I'm surprised he wasn't using his rake. Grand Ring of... I think I have one of these already. Oh, sick-ass Morag Tong stuff. Fortify Acrobatics and Sneak. Fortify Marksman. Detect Life. Nice. Fortify Agility. Normal Weapons. That's a good one. It's just... I don't think Fortify Normal Weapons contributes to your armor rating, which is a good thing. If you can get Fortify or resist normal weapons and like a armor rating cap, I think it will give you more damage resistance than any one of them individually. I didn't even realize that was a that was an option there. All right, need to drop some more arrows, I guess. Silver arrows. I didn't really see any notes on him. Did he have a note on him? The writ or whatever? Okay. Did I go? Oh no, this is to unlock. That was the password to even get into the cave to begin with. Lord Kelvin's will is for Battlehorn Castle. The soiled writ. Gross. Oh, that's because he was keeping it in his butt. I don't have a soiled writ. It's up in my inventory? Steward's note. I didn't read this yet. Your job is to see that our arrivals and departures are well documented and that their wages are paid, and keep an eye on my dear cousin. It is not gossip with every new recruit about our far-reaching plans. It is not to gossip. Okay. It's not your job to gossip. We've already captured one assassin prowling the caves. The last thing we need is some spy of Helseth's hearing all our goals from you. Commander Adrethi will debrief the troops as necessary at his own discretion. On Tourdus, I'm taking a detachment through the doorway with me. I don't know how long I'll be gone, but in the unlikely case that there is a cause to disrupt my excursion, read the most recent entry in my journal. You'll find it in my cabin on the desk. Don't go in there for any other reason. Discretion above all. We don't want our Imperial enemies to know what our plans are. Archmage Frathen Drothrin. Okay, so the steward. Real City. Had a diary somewhere. I must have missed that back in the village. Enchanted Bazaar? Training room here. Does this have physics? No. Grand Soul Gem, I can use that. Up in your inventory, there are 2 of them you need. Soiled writ of assassination. There it is. You saw it. I didn't. Pass it again. Commander Talani Adrethi. The aforementioned personage has been marked for honorable execution in accordance to the lawful tradition and practice of the Morag Tong Guild. The bearer of this non-disputable document has official sanctioned license to kill the aforementioned personage. A lot of legalese there, huh? So he's looking for the commander that I killed, but that killed him. Looks like there's another diary somewhere in that village in the steward's house. On a desk somewhere. Ooh. I did not see this. Come on. There we go. The commander is talking about, is the one at the end. I think he's named. You'll find out. Okay. Plate. Some gems on a plate here, huh? This glowing red thing over here. Just some embers. Just want to take another pass through here, just to make sure I'm not missing anything. Even when picking up items, individual items in this game, you can fill the auto. Yeah, you can. It kind of snaps a little bit. Ooh, what's this? Psychic motion. Oh, that's just a scroll. Okay. Here it is. Okay, I think this is new. Frathen Drothan's quarters. This is where I needed to go. There's a diary in here, I think. And there's a doorway somewhere as well. Definitely taking the soul gems. Ooh, a Varla stone. Definitely need that. Oh, I only have a novice retort right now. I have not found anything above a novice retort, even at level 31. So definitely taking the apprentice one. Trichobazora extract? You say so. Receipt. Jobasha bookseller. Lower Wasteworks. 4 quarters of Vivek. Oh, this is just receipts for these books. Sounds like he's doing some research on Daedra here. I've read Drothon's journal. He's gone into Varsa Balim in search of something called the Neferavigum, which he believes protects Mehrunes' razor. He has left enchanted Bazors in the care of his commander and forge master. With these Bazors, he'll be able to... I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. I've never seen that word before in my life. Bazors? I'll be able to dispel his enchantment and follow him into Varsa Balim. Traitors all, Helseth and all the lapdogs in the great houses are nothing for the heresy, or care nothing for the heresy of allowing the Empire to command the lives of our noble Dunmer people. Even my fickle Telvanni kinsmen apathetically consent to this outrage. Once I have raised my army and toppled the atrocious empire of men, then they all shall pay for their complacency. Dude, all I need is 2 more apparatuses, the Alembic and the Calcinator for Master. I have those in Expert and cannot find the last... Yeah, you were mentioning that in the Discord. Oh, that can be annoying, right? You found all those, like, super unique, rare rings that I would, like, love to find, and you still haven't found those master pieces to the alchemy system. I think I have expert in everything except I had the novice retort and I just found the apprentice one, so I got to keep an eye out for an expert one on that. You found a second mundane ring? That's amazing. I could hardly bear the journey here to deal with that filthy bookseller, but it was worth it. The treatise on Aliatic cities I bartered for provided the last bit of evidence I needed. Now I'm convinced that I can find the Neferavigum beneath Sundercliffe Watch, just inside Cyrodiil's border. Yeah, we're like right on the Velothi border, I think. Eastern, sort of northeastern Cyrodiil here. Next. The Drothmeri army grows in might. Our forward detachment is ready to escort me within Cyrodiil's borders, where they shall bolster themselves for the assault, whilst I claim my prize under the mountain. It's getting harder to find mercenaries. I may have to consider employing some of the beast folk. Must remember to discuss this with Adrethi before we depart for Sundercliffe. The Neferavigum must be near. I can feel power emanating from this place. Now I've only to find it and overcome the task to earn Mehrunes' razor. Wielding this fearsome relic, I led the Drothmeri army to victory against the Imperial tyrants. We finally uncovered the entrance to Varsa Balim. I am going to take a detachment of men inside with me to find the Neferavigum. I already discovered an assassin prowling the camp. I fear that Helseth may have sent him. To be safe, I'm going to seal myself in the city until we can recover the razor. I've left 2 Bazors cut from the belly of an albino guar in the care of Commander Adrethi and the Forge Master. If there is some emergency, they have only to place these on the pedestals outside the door to dispel my barrier and open the way to Varsa Balim. I'm really curious to see what these Bazors are. Yeah, close to Morrowind. So we know Oblivion, yeah, is coming out soon. I wonder when Skywind is coming out. I don't think we've seen as frequent of updates from that team. The last I remember, they'll send out like some montages of like different models and dungeons and stuff that they're working on every now every now and then. But they have not been as like official or forthcoming with their updates as Rebel's Eyes has for Oblivion. Oh, come on. There we go. I don't think Skywim will be anytime soon. Yeah, Oblivion is supposed to be next year, right? Scroll of Transmutation. What are these things doing? They're not very valuable. Oh, Skywind's coming out this year? I thought it was 2026. No, though, you're right. They did mention 2025. Although I haven't heard any updates on that, and 2025 is getting damn close to halfway over. Would not be shocked to see if they delay that, just because of the lack of update we've had on it. Let's see. What does this do? Transmute mineral on self. Okay, so yeah, whatever. Probably just sell those off when I get back to town. The ore really doesn't do much at all in this game. You can sell it for money, but not that much. Went back to play Skyrim and it's so stiff. Yeah, I mean, I remember that too. I think it's because of the movement speed in general. Because as you play Oblivion, you level up with your athletic skill. So you get faster as you go. And then also, you know, once you get to, you know, level 30, even if you're not a speed build, you end up just investing attribute points into speed anyway because you got nowhere else to put it. So you do naturally just get faster and faster in this game. In Skyrim, the speed, there's not really a lot that actually increases your speed. You get encumbered and unencumbered by your different armor types that you're wearing. But yeah, it's your movement speed in general is a lot slower. So I think that, like, you know, you accelerate a lot faster when you hit a directional button in this game, especially at higher levels. So that kind of makes it feel a little loosey-gooseier, right? And then you also have like a little bit of a leap whenever you fall off a cliff in this game. So that also kind of makes things feel a little looser and a little faster. In Skyrim, I feel like there's more gravity. There's no acrobatic skill, so everybody has a standard jump height. There's very few ways to actually increase your movement speed. So yeah, it's gonna feel gonna feel tighter. Skyrim is for sure. I think Morrowind was kind of the same way too, from the little I've seen on that game. That was kind of before my Elder Scrolls time, though. I don't think I've checked that house out yet. Let's keep exploring. That's just movement speed, though. Combat is smoother in Skyrim default. Yeah, it's not bad here in the Oblivion remake, for sure. They've smoothed a lot of things out, in my opinion, anyway. Combat feels a lot better in the remake than it does in the original. Compared to Skyrim, though, it's... I don't know. I'll have to go back to Skyrim and tell you what I think. Right, we got a Claymore bro over here.
Show me what you've got.
I feel like I picked the wrong target. The guy with the claymore is much more of a threat.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
Wish we had dual wielding in this game. Yeah, I think a lot of people did. Dual wielding wasn't even like part of the engine in this game, though. I think it would be next to impossible to add it in without engine level tweaks. So that's something that they had to like build back into the backbone of the creation engine for Skyrim. And they haven't done it since. Fallout 4, Fallout 76, and Starfield, none of them have dual wielding like Skyrim does. I hope they bring it back for Elder Scrolls 6.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed.
Oh, he had a torch on him, huh? It's interesting. The attack animation is slower with two-handed, especially power attack, compared to Oblivion or compared to Skyrim? Oblivion remake compared to Oblivion. Yeah, they made archery way better in Remaster for sure. I don't think archery was bad in the first one, especially because there weren't any other games really doing archery except for maybe the Thief game. They were kind of BGS were kind of pioneers of the modern archery games, and then Fallout, or not Fallout, Far Cry took that torch and ran with it. But I still like the archery in Skyrim better than Far Cry. Crysis is a good archery game. Thief has always been a good archery game. Horizon, Forbidden West, and Zero Dawn has really good archery in it. That might be the best archery, honestly. Skyrim does it really well, and I think the Oblivion remaster puts it almost on par with Skyrim. Hey, buddy. Oh, you're coming at me with a little dagger, huh? With a little pig sticker. It is harder to dodge arrows in this game. They feel like they have a bigger hitbox. Or a bigger hurt box on them, I guess. Or maybe just characters have bigger hitboxes on them. So usually collision detection in these games have two parts. They have the hurt box, which is like an object in the game that if it touches a hitbox, it causes damage or whatever, you know? And then the hitbox itself is like on the character or, you know, on a summon or whatever. The thing that you're hitting has a hitbox. The thing that you're swinging at or shooting at the hitbox is a hurt box. And when they collide, then you have an interaction that causes damage or some other effect. So it's either the hitbox or the hurt box or both that are bigger in this game than they are in Skyrim. Because there are arrows that I've almost clearly seen that don't hit my body at all, but I still got hit by them. Silver short sword. Probably a cool weapon, but don't need it. I'm on mouse and keyboard too. Probably easier for Karn on controller. Honestly, I haven't had issues with dodging arrows at all. New dodge mechanic. Yeah, no, once you get your speed up to a certain level, then you've seen me strafing left and right without even using dodging. Oops, hit the wrong button there. Without even having to use the dodge. I'll use it to close distances or whatever, or get out of a corner or something, but there are no invincibility frames on the dodge. But once you get your speed up to a certain amount, you don't have to really worry about it too much. But I have noticed just going left and right that arrow, there were a couple of arrows that it looks like pretty clearly missed me. They still registered a hit. You should see how I can dodge while staying in sneak mode. Oh, yeah? Because by default, it boots you out of stealth. Oh, really? Oh, yeah, if you just hit the button again, you can stay in sneak. Yeah, that's a cool technique. I did not realize that because I haven't been using, well, as a warrior, I don't sneak at all, really. And I haven't been using the dodge as much either. But yeah, it takes you right out of sneak mode. If you just hit the dodge or the sneak button again in the middle of the dodge, you can get back into sneak. You do that on mouse and keyboard? Yeah. Again, easier for you on controller? Yeah. I guess it would take some more heavy finger gymnastics. Man, I'm stuck. I don't know where to go here. Oh, I do have a marker, though, that I can use for this. And I have a clairvoyance spell. Let's do clairvoyance. Is clairvoyance new? I don't remember clairvoyance being in the original game. But they pretty much just lifted it right out of Skyrim. It's a good change, I think. It's a good addition, if it wasn't here already. Clairvoyance is new in this game? Yeah, I thought so. It's instant arthritis, though, gotta warn you. Nice. Okay, this is just leading me back out. Is there something I missed in here? He's gone into Varsa Balim in search of something called... Yeah, he has left enchanted bezoars. Follow him into Varsa Balim. Alright, well, where is Varsa Balim? It's taking you to the Forge Master. The hell? Ah, okay, there's a whole section of this dungeon I haven't even been in yet. Got Daedric arrows.
What's the matter? Getting tired? Let's get this over with.
Oh man, a Khajiit monk, or Khajiit unarmed in this game will wreak havoc on your player character because of the fatigue damage that unarmed attacks do in this game.
Fall down and bleed to death.
So once you run out of fatigue and you get hit again, if your fatigue, actually, yeah, the better way to say it, if your fatigue goes negative in this game, you get a long knockdown. Which obviously is bad. You don't want to be knocked down for a long time. All right, I'm gonna skip the arrows this time. They're encumbering me now, so it's time to leave them alone. I'm watching you off of my Xbox, but using a phone to type. Okay. Using text to speech just because it's faster, but there's gonna be some errors. I can. Oh yeah, no problem, no problem. I can figure out what you're trying to say for the most part. Maroon's razor. What a maroon. It's actually a pretty elaborate quest. Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. Much more elaborate than it was for Azura. For Azura, it's just, she's like, yeah, just go to this cave and kill some vampires and come back and you can have my star. I think they did that on purpose, though, because that was like supposed to be like the default path for the main quest, I think, and they wanted to remove all of the hurdles that they could in order to get players through the game, I guess. Especially the casual players.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
Oh, I've done Perryites also, Perryites quest, but I didn't want to get rid of Spellbreaker because I am a warrior and I might end up using that shield. Oh my god, they're so quick.
Your presence here will not be tolerated. You'll never take me down.
Nope. Let's get the laborers. God, he's tough. Why won't you die? Oh, it's because of the damn... I ran out of enchantment. Yeah, without enchanting my weapons, or if I'm out of charge on my weapons, the only thing I'm doing damage with on expert difficulty is the new block bash, the new shield bash, which ignores 100 level scaling on strength. So it'll continue scaling on strength beyond level 100, and then if I have my potions and my Battle Surge spell going, I have my strength boosted to 200, which does a lot of damage.
I'm just warming up, you pathetic worm.
Pathetic worm, you're the laborer. You're the one digging for your elven overlords. And I'm the worm? Alright.
I'm just warming up, you pathetic worm.
You have absorb fatigue. Yeah, I do, but it's expensive. So on the mace here, I have absorb fatigue, absorb strength, and there was something else I had. Let's take a look. Maybe it's just the two. Absorb strength, absorb fatigue, damage health, and weakness to magic. So yeah, I'm getting, if I'm doing repeated shots on them, I'm doing, you know, multiplicatively stacked weakness to magic and damage health, which does a lot of damage on its own. But mostly I'm using the strength to shield bash. And then with the two-handed battle axe here, I got a soul trap on there, but that obviously, if you don't have any black soul gems, you're not getting any souls from people. Only creatures, and we don't have any creatures here that we're fighting, so I'm kind of low on soul energy here. But then I'm doing the stacking weakness to frost and weakness to magic trick on here that just kind of multiplicatively stacks for frost damage on there. But again, that only really does any damage on expert difficulty if you have it charged up, right? Question to anyone who knows, is the Morag Tong assassin in original too? I think so. I think this is all the same. It's just I don't have much recollection of the Mehrunes Razor, of doing that quest. It is kind of a little bit obscure. And it's the Mehrunes Razor is a very specialty item. It's not something you're going to go out of your way to find for most builds. There's really only a luck build. Really is the only thing that's going to take advantage of Mehrunes Razor fully. Otherwise, a self-enchanted dagger is going to be much better for you. So there was really no reason to go through all this if you're going for a specific build, because Mehrunes Razor is so niche. Right, the Lux, that's probably the most powerful thing that luck does for you, is increases the chance of that instant death on Mehrunes Razor. So yeah, it's a very specialty build. I might do a build off of it, because it's really something that for a Mehrunes Razor build, you want just the volume of your attacks to be as high as possible. Your attack speed, just the amount that you're attacking with it, to be up as high as possible. So that means like just doing regular attacks and not sneaking right, but then boosting up your luck amount to as high as you can get it, just trying to cause this instant death on the high volume of swipes that you're outputting with it. Kind of a cool concept, but that would scale all the way into master difficulty as well. You don't have to do sneak with it. So yeah, that is something that would be viable on the highest difficulty levels. Be pretty cool. Did you find those weapons out of random loot, cleave, and set? No, these are custom enchantments. So yeah, at the beginning of the stream, I was talking about how I was having trouble trying to figure out how to make build guides in Oblivion, and then I started watching other people's Oblivion guides, and they were very heavily centered on spellcrafting and enchanting for pretty much every build. And that was the trouble that I was having, is that like you don't manually assign perks in this game. So where Skyrim is very heavily perk choice driven for each one of your builds, you don't have that at all in Oblivion. You just level your skills and you get the perks for free, and you don't get to control which ones you get. All of the customization in this game comes down to enchanting and spellcrafting. And if you're playing something like a warrior build or a thief build, it's like you don't, it's like it's kind of hard to reconcile that in your brain. It's like I'm playing a warrior, but most of the build has to do with spellcrafting and enchanting. But I was watching other people's builds on it, and it does work a little bit, especially because of how the magic crafting, the spell crafting system works in this game. You get to name it, and they work more like a minor power in Skyrim than they do like a spell that you cast. So it's really easy to kind of in your own head canon to make believe or role play that instead of casting a spell, you're actually using a warrior ability. So I have a couple of spells that I'm using all the time. Battle Surge, which fortifies my strength for the shield bashing, and also restores fatigue. So I get the constant fatigue regeneration, because shield bashing does take a lot of stamina. And even just blocking attacks in this game takes a lot of stamina. I kind of wish that was a level 100 perk for block, was not taking any fatigue away from your stamina bar. So yeah, that's what I'm doing for the warrior here. And then I also have this spell here, Tactical Recovery, which just does recovery over time of both health and fatigue if I'm using my Frost Cleave weapon, where I don't need strength because I'm not bashing. I just need to staying power as I'm standing in front and swinging my battle axe as fast as possible. Check Fudge Muppet. Yeah, I've been watching Fudge Muppet. They're doing okay. I mean, Fudge Muppet, they're usually very heavy on roleplay, backstory, and aesthetics, and less so on game mechanics. And when I do a build, I'm very focused on the game mechanics. But the mechanics that they are using for their builds have inspired me to do my own, which is good. There are a couple of other build makers that are doing Oblivion remaster builds. Actually, let's go ahead and plug them, because they have been very helpful for me. So one of them is Stuck Step, bro. Crozen. He's probably my favorite Oblivion builder right now. The Warlock build is excellent. Absolutely amazing. And this guy, he's not just an Elder Scrolls player. He plays a lot of different builds. He's also got a bunch of Baldur's Gate 3 builds that he's been putting out that are apparently very good, but I couldn't get into that game. I feel bad because I really wanted to like that game, and it's apparently very good, but it just without the real-time action, I couldn't get into it. But yeah,
what is going on, guys?
Warlock build here was excellent. I'll go ahead and post that for you. And Italian Spartacus, I think, was the other one. He's got some really good... really good gameplay guides on the remaster here. Things like, well, I've been using his guides to go to get the most out of item leveling, weapon enchanting, and spellcrafting. So both of these are very good resources to use for your own builds. I would highly recommend both of these channels, and he's also got some of his own builds that he's been using these mechanics on. So that's been the main three so far, right? We've had Fudge Muppet, who is obviously the most popular of all of them. They have the biggest channel. These guys aren't small channels. Crozen's a small channel. I think he's only got like 2,400 subscribers, or 24,000 subscribers, which is a lot more. It's like over 10 times the amount of subscribers I have. But it's very small in comparison to everything else. And of course, Italian Spartacus here, he does a lot more than just Elder Scrolls. He's got a lot of different games that he does guides for. So that's gonna drive more subscriptions. But yeah, that's all been really good. So yeah, I've been using, not as a template, but that just went to show that you can have build guides in Oblivion, and it's okay if every build is very centric on enchanting and spellcrafting, because that's just how Oblivion is. It's just how it is. But like I said, you don't have to treat them like spells. So it's like, not every build has to be a spell sword if you're calling these spells different names and attaching different meanings and different situations and scenarios to them. And that's how it is in most games, most action RPGs, or even action games with RPG elements in them. You have your warrior class that obviously is better at just fighting than a mage or a rogue class. But beyond that, the warrior will have special abilities that they use, which all they really are is just spells that you cast, right? It's just you're casting them with a warrior and doing different things with them. With a mage, you're not doing regular fighting as much, but you're casting these abilities as spells more often. So it does make sense. Just because you're playing a warrior doesn't mean you can't cast spells. It doesn't mean the spells that you're casting have to be called spells and considered magic. They can just be warrior type abilities. Like what I'm doing with my battle surge here. This is technically a spell in the game, but I'm not calling it a spell. I'm not treating it like a spell. It's a warrior ability. So that's what the other build guides have inspired me to do with this game. And I probably will do more builds for it, just because I really enjoyed coming back to this. And am currently enjoying playing this game again. After, 15, 20 years. It's been so much fun. So yeah, once I'm done with this build, I'll probably do a build guide on it, and then I'll get back to my Thief playthrough and get that build guide out for Skyrim, and then I still have the Cleric in the pipeline. And then I still have my Sacrosanct Vampire after that, and the Triumvirate Warlock after that. But I might do a more regular rotation for Oblivion Remastered, if it sticks. It's sold really well out of the gate. I think they had something like 4 million sales in the first 2 weeks, and it's since has slowed down a lot. And I've been seeing less and less videos for it. I kind of feel like the feeding frenzy, the YouTube feeding frenzy for the new game is kind of dissipated a bit. The player base is probably peaked on it, unless we can get a complete resurgence of modding for this game, which I think they have said they're not going to officially support modding for this game, so we're not going to get official build mod tools for it, which is probably going to hurt the player base in the long run after years and years. What I think is gonna happen is a lot of people are gonna go back to Skyrim after doing a couple of Oblivion playthroughs, just because, like I said, everything is capped in this game, and that does restrict builds and game mechanics that you can do in this game. unless you're completely focused on enchanting and spell crafting. Whereas Skyrim, nothing is capped. Everything you're allowed to scale indefinitely for the most part, which creates a lot more build diversity. And you have the modding support, the official and unofficial modding tools. That's where the modding community as a whole have kind of staked their claim, and like they've said, this is our game. Skyrim SE is our game. This is what we're going to be modding indefinitely forever and ever. And that's cool. I don't see that happening with Oblivion Remastered, but it is definitely a very nice kind of side quest in your Skyrim main quest, right? I'm glad they changed what skills level. Yeah, that the leveling changes have all been good. They haven't completely fixed the problems that OG Oblivion had with its level progression system. Most of that's still there. It doesn't really take effect until later on in the playthrough. I don't think I've killed these guys. I think these guys are just dead. Pretty sure I haven't been here yet. Okay, she's not a laborer.
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
Need more fatigue regeneration, please. There's a few YouTubers putting out solid builds I've seen. Yeah, the problem with jumping on that ship, I will put out my warrior build here. The problem with that is I don't have as much time as a lot of these builders do. As far as I know, Fudge Muppet does their YouTube thing full time, don't they? And I'm not sure about Frozen, but Italian Spartacus, he's definitely a full timer. He would not be able to output that many videos if he had a day job. And I like to take a slower approach anyway. I'd like to wait for the dust to settle, and I will go into the nooks and crannies of what makes a build tick to the deepest levels, and that's what I put out in my build guides, right? But yeah, I think I want to put this in a rotation. And there are plenty of you in the chat right now that don't want to hear this, but I do want to do like another Starfield build or two as well. Just not, I don't think that's an autosave freeze. Oh, did we get a crash? I think we got a crash. It happens every once in a while. Yeah, Unreal isn't the perfect thing. Yeah, the Starfield builds aren't something that's going to drive traffic to the channel or anything. In fact, it'll probably have the opposite effect, but that's still something that I want to do. I got the one Starfield build out. Let's see here. And it didn't do poorly at all. It actually did quite well. Let's see, let's sort all of my builds, all of my videos on views. Of course, the Triumvirate Shadow Mage build is going to be tops. Yeah, the Agent build is one of my favorites there. Werewolf build, Nemesis Arcane Archer. But then, let's see here. Cyberneticist build is almost as much as the Scorpion build. Very, very close to it, but actually, it, like, what is it, March 24th, October to, with an extra, you know, Scorpion had a 5-month head start on that. It's done better than the Pure Warrior build, even though that was fairly recent. So it's not terrible. What the hell is going on here? Oh, I'm getting some frame drops, I guess. Never mention Starfield. Shush. I like the short sword attack yeah, the short sword animations are good. Stream buffered when Starfield was mentioned. I got 0 dropped frames though. That's interesting. What's going on here? 0 dropped frames. It all looks good to me. We're still alive. Stream is still alive from what I can see. Dude, this is a really long quest. Oh, by the way, anybody who's playing Oblivion Remastered on PC, I highly recommend Special K. If you have a monitor like I do that has like a weird refresh rate, like something like 165 hertz, a lot of Unreal Engine games have a hard time getting proper frame timing on those sort of non-default refresh rates on monitors. So if you use this tool called Special K, let's see, Special K, maybe it's all one word. Special K download. Swiss Army knife of PC gaming. If you use this to launch your game, you can actually set your monitor's refresh rate to something standard like 120 hertz. And Unreal Engine has a much better time smoothing out frame timings for 120 hertz than it does for 144 hertz or 165 hertz. And that's because if you're playing at 60 or you're using frame gen to reach 120, it's a much easier operation to just cut the frames in half or keep them the same. So I do highly recommend using Special K to make Unreal Engine think that your monitor is 120 hertz or 60 hertz. You get a much smoother gameplay experience. All right, back into it. We're almost done with the stream here too. Man, this is a really long quest. It's a huge dungeon. I was like, what the hell is this fort here? And it turns into just like Blackreach. It's Blackreach in Oblivion is basically what I happened onto. This remake kind of reminds me of the Demon Souls remake a little bit, because I know Demon Souls used Unreal Engine. Did it? The remake might have used Unreal Engine. I know that they used because the original, I'm pretty sure, did not use Unreal. The remake, actually, I got a boxed copy of the remake right up here. I can look. Super sick remake, by the way. If you have a PS5. This game is really good. I know that Bluepoint, they actually got all of the source code from Software, and they rebuilt the game and from the ground up, but using the original source code. So I'm not sure if they used Unreal for the graphics. I didn't think they did. I don't see any mention of Unreal on the box or in the fine print anywhere. I mean, they may have. But I thought this was an actual, honest to goodness remake from the ground up. Yeah, there's no mention of Unreal anywhere on there, and usually for licensing purposes, you have to disclose that. I don't think this is the first time it's been done by just pasting Unreal over the top of an original game. And of course you have things like animation engines and things like that, and physics engines and stuff that you put on top of existing games all the time.
I'm just warming up, you pathetic worm. You'll never take me down.
Out of stamina. Ah.
Do your worst.
Tom is back, everybody.
Ooh. I fought mud crabs more fiercely.
Maybe it was
than
Dark
you.
Souls? They might have remastered Dark Souls, but I don't think they ever remade it. They may have used a different graphic. They probably almost definitely used a different graphics engine for the Demon Souls remaster, because they really made that game. They brought it up to date completely, which would have been a tall order in the existing engine. And I think From uses their own internal engine. I don't know what they call it. And I don't think Blue Point would completely remake all the tooling from scratch for that. So it's possible. You might be right. Blue Point, I think they did do Shadow of the Colossus, didn't they? Yeah. And that was for PS4, right? Pretty sick game. I've heard really good things about it. Haven't played it. We have an ancestral guardian, and I would really like to have his soul. Man, that's really like a really like egg in the face, really bad sign of disrespect for a Dunmer, man, to have him conjure his ancestral guardian to help him fight, and then you just soul trap him into the soul cairn forever. Pretty messed up, but also like the perfect like FU response to a Dunmer summoning their ancestors to gang up on you. Like, oh yeah? You gonna call Aunt Millie to help you fight me? Well, now it's your fault that Aunt Millie has to spend eternity in the soul cairn. Yeah, Silent, there's so many great games that I want to play. There's just never any time. Speaking of great games, I have Doom the Dark Age coming in the mail today, the collector's edition. It is out for delivery as we speak, and it will probably be at my house shortly after I'm done streaming. And I got like the one with the statue and everything in it, the Doom guy statue. I'm super looking forward to getting that. And I don't think the game actually comes out till the 17th, so I'm curious to see what it's gonna do when I plug the Steam code in. Let her home. But the reviews have been coming back really, really good for that. I'm really looking forward to playing that for at least a couple weeks. There's a Dunmer alchemist in Skingrad who practices necrophilia. Oh no. Looks like yeah, I really enjoyed Doom 2016 and Doom Eternal. Really some of the best shooting game experiences that I've had in the last... Oh god, it's been almost 10 years since 2016. Jesus. Yeah, really, really cool experiences. I love those games. Courier's Notice, conveyance via Narcissus, Ball Falls, Vivek, Suran, personal correspondence, origin withheld. I miss you more with each passing night. My only comfort is knowing that the wages I'm earning now will ensure our comfort when I return. I couldn't believe the pay this lunatic was offering, and I doubt we would have followed him all the way to Cyrodiil otherwise. The fool thinks he'll overthrow the Empire. Vermina take him. I figure we'll end up deserting soon, just as we've gotten as much pay as we can without actually following his addled madman, this addled madman into battle. We've hardly crossed the border, but already I can tell you, Cyrodiil is an awful place. Really? I think Cyrodiil's kind of awesome. We have nothing but iron to work with. There's no art to iron armor. I tried using the bones of beasts killed in the local forest, but they're brittle and won't bear the force of the hammer. Even with decent materials, this would be a dull post. We must be a mile underground and a league from civilization. I don't envy the courier who carries this letter. I pass the time in conversation with the other apprentice. We always seem to have a good laugh at the expense of the Forge Master, in private, of course. I can't wait to see your family home in Sauron. I've never actually been to Vardenfell. I've heard much of its charm. I'm pleased and surprised to hear that you've begun saving for our own home already. You say you're working for somebody named Decel? Decil? The pay must be very good, but when I return, you won't need to keep it up. You never mentioned, by the way, what sort of work you're doing. That's got to be some kind of callback to Morrowind or something. I'm not sure how this crazy wizard is paying wages for us and his army of mercenaries and laborers. We don't use half the ore mined here for smithing, so I figure he must sell the surplus iron, but I see no evidence of it, nor do I think it would produce such a small fortune. I think he's Telvanni. Perhaps folk in that area near you have heard if he's from wealthy stock? I fear I must conclude, my love. The Forge Master is demanding another parcel of iron-shod boots. How many more pairs could we possibly need? Enemies nearby. Damn it. Am I currently in combat? Yeah, I think so.
It's a fight you want. It's a fight you get.
Yeah, you and your rake, huh? You're gonna take me out? I doubt it. Oh, that's the actual Forge Master, huh? The Nord? Oh, does he have a Daedric War Axe? He does. I want that thing. Replace the mace with it. Yeah, the war axes are quite a bit faster than the maces, in my experience, and the battle axes are much more probably low system RAM. Interesting. Forge Master's Amulet, Fortify Armor, Fortify Blunt, Fortify Heavy Armor. Yeah, Fortify Strength, get an extra 5 points. That I can actually use, but once you get to 100 on all of your attributes, it's you don't really get any more use out of them. Fortify Fatigue on Self. That one actually does scale past 100. Resist normal weapons on self, and that one actually does give you a shield on top of your armor rating, which is great. Fortify Strength, another one, huh? Gauntlets of Brutality, hell yeah. What do I have on my gauntlets right now? Protective Gauntlets, just spell absorption. Okay, well there's not a lot of spells right now. I'm gonna go ahead and use that. 10 points on Strength, hell yeah. Okay, let's see what the hell this, actually, save this first. See what this damn system RAM. Damn, look at that. All 32 gigabytes of my system memory is being taken up. What the hell is Google Chrome, of course, and then of course, Oblivion Remastered is. You can kill Chrome. There we go. That freed up a lot. Freed up a lot, actually. Wonder what kind of website was taking that up. Don't forget the War Axe. Yeah, yes. Okay, thank you. I would have forgotten. Damn it. I really want that War Axe. Where is he?
This is the part where you fall down and bleed to death.
Really?
I'm just warming up, pathetic worm.
Well, go ahead and keep getting warmed up.
Do your worst. You're pathetic.
Yeah, Daedric War Axe. I've not seen many of those at all.
Die, cur. Am I supposed to be impressed? This
Forge Master's tent, huh? What is a Drothmeri soldier doing over here in the Forge Master's tent? Do they have a little something going on in here? Crumpled pieces of paper. Enchanted Bezoar. Again, what is that? I found both Bezoars mentioned in Drothan's journal and can now dispel the enchantment blocking the door to Varsa Balim. Okay. There's some good loot on this quest. Definitely worth to do it at higher levels. Yeah, so I was mentioning earlier how human enemies it does cause a little bit of a challenge for this character because of the lack of white souls to absorb and recharge, right? But the good thing about human enemies is the equipment that they have on. Oh, geez, sorry about that, guys. I just whacked the remote, or the mic. The good thing about human enemies, though, is the equipment that they have on them at high levels. So if you're looking to flesh out your loadout with new equipment, this is the way to get the high level stuff, is with human non-mage enemies. Okay, so it looks like the map marker is pointing like downstairs, maybe? We'll find a way down there. Let's just take the right path for now. Okay, this is leading us deeper. More dead soldiers over here, and I haven't been down here. Sundercliffe Mines. Maybe I have already been down here. Yeah, I think I've already been down here. Time for the clairvoyance spell again. You're almost at the end of the quest. Sweet. Yeah, I had planned on hanging up the stream at 2 p.m. 12 minutes ago. Back to the village, huh? But I've been sensing that we've been at the end of this quest for a while now. Deeper and deeper, eh? Now I feel like I'm running in circles. Taking you to the barrier door. Nice. Okay. And now I have the Bezoars to disenchant, as the journal said. And now we got a green map marker here, so we're right there. Cool. Ah, okay. There we go. Bash him in the nose with the shield. Nice fancy sword work there. Too bad you're getting your ass kicked.
Ha! You'll never take me down.
Got my phone and Xbox synced up. Nice. That helps, right? You're actually watching and responding to things in real time. I found the door to Varsa Balim. The 2 pedestals nearby must be where the Bezoars need to be placed to dispel Drothan's enchantment. Alright, these 2 places here. There we go. I've dispelled Drothan's barrier and can now follow him into Varsa Balim. Okay. Let's do that. I'm gonna go ahead and use a Varla stone here too. Where the hell is my Varla stone? Thought I had 2 of them left. Oh, I got 3 of them. Nice. Oh, one more thing I wanted to do is get my fortify strength potions. Hooked up to my slot there. More powerful bashes. That could have helped earlier. Nothing doing there. So we got Mother's Day coming up tomorrow. Anybody doing anything fun with their moms? Got my mom coming over. I'm gonna order some food because it'll be a madhouse out there. Just kind of hang out, you know? Got my brother coming over too. Doing brunch, the wind. Yeah, you got the boys coming over. That's good. Wow, there is not a lot going on down here, huh? I've entered the lost alien city of Varsa Balim. There's no telling what I may encounter here. I must be on my guard. Okay. Some very large entity over there. Just destroying some Dunmer soldiers down there. Okay. Are we ready for this? I don't know. I kind of want to just deal with the aftermath. I don't want to enter the fray. Okay, there we go. Okay, who is this? Not a friend. Vampire mage, huh? Got vampires down here, I guess. No, now we got some buddies. Focus on one here. Good thing I still have my cure disease potions. Okay, got a soul. Probably got infected there, but we'll see. Wonder why he wasn't wearing that robe of protection. Probably because he was a fancy pants. Gonna run into little skirmishes between the vamps and the Dunmer. Nice, okay. Also another door here. I'm gonna fully explore this cavern before I go through any doorways. Vampire Bard. I like how the vampires use actual classes from the games, and then they are actually equipped as such too. Like the Bard is gonna have light armor, blade, and probably illusion magic. But then you'll run into like monks that are unarmed and unarmored, and you'll run into barbarians that have light armor and big old weapons. It's just kind of cool to see all the different examples of the built-in classes, I think. Keep hearing footsteps. That's unsettling. No, all right. Well, let's use this doorway first. Beldameld. Are all vampires bald in this game? It seems like every vampire, at least enemy I've seen, they've all been bald. Even the women. I wonder if that's a bug or if that's just an artistic decision that they made. Make them look more like a Nosferatu vampire. Of course there's Hasseldor, Count Hasseldor, who does have a nice head of hair. It is a glitch. Back to Varsa Balim, that's where I came from. I think. I don't know which one I came through. Happens with Vicente. Oh, the Dark Brotherhood one. Yeah, this is where I came in, I think. Definitely where I came in. Gotta go to the other one.
A fight you want. It's a fight you'll get.
Oh boy, we got a lot of them here. He just blasted his own person. Zombies. Alright. I want to kill you. Battle mage, huh? Oh, she's got another Daedric war axe too. I only need the one, I think.
Do your worst.
Contracted porphyric hemophilia.
You're pathetic. Oh.
Oh, it's getting bloody over here. Do you have some kind of funky enchantment on this thing? No, just a regular. It seemed more bloody than normal. A lot of blood flying all over the place. Oh, it's a higher level vamp. The longer you go without feeding, your character will turn bald too. Okay. So Hasseldor he stays well fed. That makes some sense. Make sure I'm not missing any passages or anything over here. I don't think I killed that guy. Must be one of the vampire's victims. All right, let's do this. I'm ready. Where'd you go? Oh, I see you. All right, where to?
What's that?
Ooh, is that a vampire warrior? A knight, okay. Then maybe a vampire sorcerer, spell sword. God, this vampire knight looks imposing in that armor. Okay, I can absorb the soul on that zombie.
I'll have your head, you filthy Nord.
Filthy Nord, you're the one living underground and eating rotting corpses. And I'm filthy? Come on. Have you seen my beard care regimen? Nothing filthy about me. Well, she's tough. Okay, we got another doorway over here, but I want to see what's left over here. Man, this is like an actual labyrinth down here. This is crazy. kind of feel like I want to get to the center of this structure over here, though. Yeah, like this looks promising. So does that. Damn. I don't know where I'm supposed to be going. There's another vampire up there. All right, well, let's try this out first. Check your mini-map. There's a little trick you can do. You can zoom all the way into the mini-map and then just press the start button. You can go directly to it. Oh, nice. Okay. Kava Arcana. Okay, this is where I started. Go try to dissipate that fog of war over there, I guess. Can I get back up there? Yeah. Really? I can't get up there? There we go. It looked like I could. Yeah, so you don't have to go into your map and zoom in every time you just push the start button. Yeah, that's a cool trick, man. Thanks for showing me that. It's gonna save a lot of button presses and time. Oh shit, I just did it wrong again. Alright, just make sure I have to hit the map button instead of the downward directional button. Okay. I have a lot more shit over here. That's completely blocked off. Yeah, that's what I've been doing too. I've been using this shortcut keystrokes on, or the directional pad stuff for everything. Like up for the character menu, left for the spell menu, right for the inventory. That's probably where I'm supposed to go. Not seeing a shortcut. I'm guessing that right there is my target. Alright, let's see where this goes. Really? Coming right at me, I guess, huh?
What's the matter? Getting tired?
No!
You're a traitor to your own race. You're pathetic. That the best you can do? Am I supposed to be
Multiple attackers here. Let's take the fortified strength potion and do a little more damage. I need fatigue.
that the best you can do?
Okay, one down, two to go.
Part where you fall down and bleed to death. Am I supposed to be impressed? Take
One more. Okay.
Am I supposed
Down to
be
one.
impressed? Why won't
I could ask you the same thing. There's really quick archers in this game. They're so hard to track down. Mages too. Got him on his way past. Bow of Storms. What kind of... This looks like a steel or elven bow, maybe? Nothing doing. Vampire Acrobat, huh? Acrobat class is fun in this too. Played one back in the OG game. And acrobatics in this game is a lot of fun because it scales jump height. And you can get up like on top of like the different pillars and stuff here and you just become completely unreachable. You use that as like an archer perch or something. It was a Daedric bow, but the picture doesn't pop up the first time. Just press down on the right stick again. Ah, okay. It is Daedric. Nice. Pretty nice bow there. I don't have the encumbrance for it, and I won't use it, so... gonna have to leave it. With having acrobatic skill with the shadow scale, I have like 130 acrobatics and can jump like Spider-Man. That's awesome. Okay, hoping this takes me back up to that area that I haven't been to yet. This looks promising. Yes, indeed. This is where I want to be. Great. Not sure if this is where I'm actually supposed to go, but... yeah, there you go. Fight each other. Damn it.
That's the best you can do. This is the part
now he's
where
gonna
you
fight
fall
me.
down and bleed to death.
Am I supposed to be impressed?
That's the best you can do.
Yeah, here's one of those vampire barbarians. Light armor with a big ol' sword and or axe. Good stuff. Can you take, or you can take next to no fall damage to at super great heights when you jump. Yeah, that's really cool. It really changes the way that you can and should play the game at high acrobatics. That's kind of like the sign of a really good build or a really good class, is that it fundamentally changes the way that you play the game when you play that class. And it's something that Elder Scrolls isn't always great at. Especially in this game at higher difficulty levels where you really have to rely on certain overpowered tricks and stuff in order to make most builds viable. You end up playing the same with a lot of different classes, but with the Acrobat, yeah, that totally changes how you play. Yeah, the vampire matriarch here, she has hair. She's one of the lucky ones. She's tough too. Makes traversal fun. Yeah, indeed it does. Indeed it does. I think the Spider-Man reference was a good one, because when you play a Spider-Man video game, most of the joy you get is just from swinging around the city, right? So with an acrobat, it like really changes just that moment-to-moment traversal across the world. You get to interact with your environment in much different ways. Always looking for the next perch or the vantage point. Okay, now we're really getting down into the depths of this stuff here too. And of course running super fast too with high speed. I think my speed's at like 110 or something. Man, yeah. How's your performance, actually? Man, I squeaked like I'm in puberty. Doesn't often happen. As a 45-year-old man. I've been seeing a lot of, like, iffy reports on console performance. And obviously you're still playing, so it's not that bad for you. What am I over encumbered with here? Leveling athletics will help you run faster too. Yes, indeed it does. Tunnel cough, rust canker, and porphyric hemophilia. Yeah, I'll go ahead and pop a potion here now. I still have enough of them. 5 left. Yeah, that's good. Using feather potions, my performance is actually fine. I'll get the few traversal stutters now and then, but other than that, it's been playing good. Good, good. Okay. And I'll get a crash to desktop when I'm putting things into like my chest because I have too much in there. Yeah, I had one really stable crash. It was at the Mystic Emporium in Imperial City, the spell shop, not the discount spells, but the real one with the Altmer in it. If you go to the female Altmer, she has like a ton of alchemy ingredients for sale. I was trying to buy a stack of boar meat, and if I tried to buy the whole stack, the game would crash to desktop immediately. So then I bought 2 of them at a time, and then when I got to the last one, it crashed. So whatever was with that like last piece of boar meat was crashing my game. It was really weird. You get some really weird crashes in this game, and it always boots back to being an Unreal Engine bug, but I kind of doubt it's all Unreal Engine. God, I just want to keep all of this. Yeah, the mort flesh I don't need. That'll save me a few pounds at least. It's a bunch of unique gear. Even if I'm not going to use it, I still like to keep the unique stuff.
What's that?
Yeah, still going. I'm trying to get to the end of this quest. I gotta be very close to the end here. Oh, a Daedra. Okay. I'm gonna use you for your soul, buddy.
Die, damn you!
There we go. Yeah. Okay. Oh, I'm dying. Holy shnikes. He hit me with something. I don't know what. Got a lot of healing potions. That's good. You can only take like 4 or 5 of them at a time, but still. Hot damn. Oh, got dispelled or something there. Ooh, that was a tough one. I did not realize my health was so low. It's because you're taking reflect damage? Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Frathen Drothan is dead, and with him dies any threat to the Drothmeri any threat the Drothmeri army may have posed to the Empire. Okay, that's good. Well, we saved the Empire. Silica boots, water walking on self. That's actually very high value to weight ratio. Same with the spell turn cloak. Reflect spell. So I'm getting the it was hitting me with the magical effects, but not the physical effects. All right. Now what? Now what is I am over encumbered. Will you defy Dagon's task and try to force open the gate? What is Dagon's task? Reflect damage was on the hood. I didn't see anything on the hood, I don't think. Oh, it is. Reflect damage. Yeah, indeed. Holy shit, I didn't even see that. How did I miss that? Getting unobservant in my old age. What do we have here? Drothan's Field Journal. Here we go. I've entered the Nefera Vigum and read Drothan's notes. They seem to indicate that by eating the heart of Dagon's champion, I'll be allowed to retrieve the razor. Drothan seemed to suspect some other means of claiming the dagger, though he seemed unsure how. Alright, well, let's see if we can get a clue. This room appears to have been built around the original site of the Nefera Vigum, but there's no sign of Mehrunes' razor. There's some sort of statue of a man here and some scattered inscriptions on the stonework. Perhaps they can give me some clues. At first I thought the runes were useless, but I was able to piece together a phrase. Kindverum Dagon Nefera Vigum. Speaking the words aloud in the order caused the razor to materialize. Alas, the way to it is blocked, and I dare not risk force, lest the gate is trapped. I must search for more clues. I have discovered more inscriptions etched as to be nearly imperceivable to my eyes. After much labor, I discovered some clues as to the man entombed here. It seems he was a champion to Dagon who failed some great task. The Keen, it says Dramora, carved his chest open through flesh, armor, and bone with the razor itself. He stands guard now as a test for those worthy to claim the weapon. What sort of test can this be? The runes mention the ability of the razor to instantly send a stuck foe to oblivion through Dagon's wrath. This corroborates many tales of the weapon, but can it really be so powerful as to kill instantly? The task seems so simple now that I've given it thought. He who travels here draws the heart from the chest of the champion and devours it must be worthy to wield the razor. I'm wary to proceed and wonder if there is another way, but the power of the blade is so near, I must ponder my next move. Well, as a warrior, we should be able to just beat him, right? Oh, look, you can actually see the razor on the other side. It looks strikingly familiar to the model from Oblivion as well. Not that there's anything wrong with that. Misseri Phaethon. Beating heart. Dark energy courses through you.
Smear's beard. We've got ourselves a live one.
You have no idea, buddy. All right. Mehrunes has found us worthy. Oh, I missed it. I've recovered Mehrunes' razor, a potent Daedric dagger, which has a chance to instantly destroy an opponent. Alright, now how the hell do I get back? Nothing you can possess. It's ambushed by Claude Merrick outside of Malada, but refused to hand over the alienate carving. I must escape and return the carving to Umbacano. Okay, let's activate that quest, and that should allow us to use clairvoyance to get the hell out of here. You mean from... Oh, did I say something else? What did I say? I meant Skyrim for sure. It's funny, I'm making fun of my own age all... Oh really? You want to go back this way? Alright, whatever you say. Really don't think that's the right way though. Why would they why would they unlock this? You said Oblivion? Ah, shit. Well, yeah, it would look a lot like the model from Oblivion, wouldn't it? That got blocked. Let's go this way. Hopefully this is more of a linear path back out. Okay, we got... Yeah, here we go. Right back out to the Nibene Basin. Perfect. Which is understandable as you are playing it, right? And I am over encumbered. How did I become so encumbered? Did I get diseased by that last rat there? I did. Look at that. Jesus. And that fortify or that cure poison or potion didn't work on the porphyric hemophilia. All right. One more potion, I guess. Let's hope this one works. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. Whew, okay, what a dungeon dive. Jesus. Quick save. Oh, that was not the save button. Oh, cure diseases do work. It just takes a second for it to kick in, I think, the lags I've noticed. Yeah, and I do have my restoration at 100 now, too. For the different buffs that I wanted to use with the weapons and things like that. And then once you get your restoration up to a certain level, you do get to cast on yourself a cure disease spell, which is nice. So I don't even have to use those potions anymore as long as I got some magicka. But I am still very encumbered. Now suddenly not encumbered. Okay, well, this is a good place to stop, I think. Thank you so much for the stream, guys, for showing up. If you want to continue the conversation, there is a link in the description below to the Discord. So please do feel free to follow that link. Use the welcomer to get in, and we can talk about Oblivion, Skyrim, even Starfield if you want to. Yeah, a lot of good conversations going on there about builds and all kinds of stuff. So please do take advantage of that. Hope to see you there. And also in the description below, there's a bunch of talented content creators and personal friends of mine that I would also very highly recommend. You may see all the same familiar faces in those Twitch streams and other YouTube streams and things like that. So do check those out as well. Thank you so much for joining me once again, and should be able to see you again next week. All right, see you then. Take care, guys. Bye.